So now what do I do? Well, I guess there's only one thing. There's something I'd like to know. Are you real? Can you feel?
Hello, beautiful angels. I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirits and my intuition, the tarot, to communicate energies to you guys, most fabulous people. If you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you found me, and I can't wait to get into your reading. I hope that this reading resonates for you. For those of you guys who are returning, I'm so grateful, and I can't express how blessed I feel to do your reading again. And I'm super excited to see what it is that Spirit is pulling through here for you guys. We are looking at what major life changes are about to shift for you and why is this shifting. So yes, it should be something that is quite powerful here for all of you guys. This will be a pick a card reading, and I will be using these decks right here. I'll put a link to the deck playlist for those of you guys interested in these cards specifically, energetically charging these cards for future readings, or if you're just curious about these decks, then I will put that timestamp there as well. And these are the 4 options we have for today's reading. I will hold them up shortly. 4 different types of turtles, and then we'll get into the sounds for each of these piles for those of you guys who are clairaudient and want to tap into the sound energy for these 4 options. Option number 1, we have this turtle right here, and I do believe this is a type of alabaster stone. Option number 3, we have this stone turtle, and I do believe this is a mother of pearl mosaic turtle. I'm not sure what, I think this might be some sunstone or some, I don't know, looks like some turquoise, some mother of pearl. Option number 3, we have some rose quartz. And option number 4, we have this wooden turtle. All right, so we'll get into our sounds as well. For option number 1, your sound. All right. Option number 2, your sound. All right. And for option number 3, the rose quartz, here's your sound. All right. And finally, for option number 4, a wooden turtle, here's your sound. I'll let you guys sit with the 4 options, and whenever you guys are ready, open your eyes, and whichever one's your first pull will most likely be the one that's calling to you. All right. Take as long as you need. And if you're called to multiple piles, there could be multiple messages for you. It's absolutely fine to resonate with more than one pile. All right. I will see you guys at your pick. Hello, pile 1. I'm so blessed to be here doing your reading today. We're looking at what major life changes are about to take place in your world that are going to significantly change your energy, and why. How is this changing? Okay, so if you don't resonate with this energy, then go check out another pile, okay? Don't force it to be your story if it's not. But we'll ask Spirit to deliver what it is you're needing to see for the greatest and highest good. Okay, and then we'll get into the tarot. So pre-shuffled oracle cards, I've not looked at this, and we're looking at what changes are about to take place here for you. So it says 33, take responsibility for your life as a creative adventure. How can you live with more meaning, integrity, and truth? 33 is a master number. It's all about reproduction, creativity, humor, Christ consciousness, joy, and harmony. You guys might be seeing a lot of 3s. We have the 8 of Cups. Look at this 8 of Cups. He's diving off the diving board. Okay, lots of energy already pulling through. We have response 32. Oh my goodness. We have succession here with 32, 33. And look at her. She's also diving, you guys. Looks like she's diving into the lake. A response. And look at the people in the border here. Okay, I was going to put it over here. I want it close to me so I can channel what I'm seeing here. Okay, and then we have faith, humanity, and benevolence. Stay calm, trust the good in your life and others, see the light in the world. Wow. Okay, and look at the language between these two. They have their hearts close to their chest. Very similar. You guys have a lot of synchronicities here in your reading. See the Buddha. We see some pink roses here, some blue roses. Wow, integrity and truth's coming through with this blue, very strong. Okay, and then we have 23, the Hound and Pair with loyalty. So it's number 5. And then we have the Queen of Keys. And she's looking out into the distance here. Now I'm being called to read this. I do feel it's equivalent to like a Queen of Pentacle energy, but let's see what pulls through here. Now I am reading them all in the upright because I know this tarot, the Akashic Tarot, has the reverse meanings, but I am reading them all in the upright for the most part, unless it channels differently. But I do want to see what Queen of Keys is in this book. Roses. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm gonna have to find it here. Oh, there. She should be right here. Okay, so it says upright. A queen dressed in a gown of rich colors and textures stands atop the tower of her great castle, happily looking over the rich, verdant hills of her domain. In the far distance, her husband returns from his travels. This card represents a woman of authority. She is sensitive, helpful, and thoughtful. She is confident in her authority, but always happy to celebrate the success of others. She could be a love interest for you or someone in your life. Besides referring to a positive woman of business, this card can represent you or another who is about to climb the ladder of success. Okay, so that's a Queen of Pentacle energy here. Positions in banking, investment, real estate, or management may be coming. Self-employment may be in industry, could also be at hand, as well as greater financial independence, increased authority, or creative autonomy at work. In the reverse, this card reversed, you could experience an emotional distancing from a businesswoman or have difference of opinion or dispute with a woman in authority. You or a woman you may know may be thinking about quitting a job. A higher position that you want may not be available, or a position that you have earned may no longer be fulfilling you. In some cases, this reversal can indicate being laid off or distancing in a love relationship. Regardless of how this reversal manifests, this is a time to consider your aspirations and all that brings you to your happiest next steps in life. So it's like a Queen of Pentacle energy. Very similar. Oops, let me put those cards back. We have 2 more cards here. Oh, my cards are about to fall. I'm going to pause. I'll be right back. All right. I paused at 1333 and you guys had 33. That's interesting. Although you might see a different time because I put my intro, but 3s are coming up very significantly. And like I said, I have a tower happening there on my side. You also have a 3 in this one. 33 or 32. So, oh my gosh, 13. Another 3, sacral with emotions. So 13 is a number of transformation. Death, Scorpio energy pulls through with 13, but this is talking about sacral emotions. So emotions come through very strong as something here that's connected to every single card we were sensing here. He's jumping into this water here. He's diving into this water here. Okay, speaking on integrity and truth would be the speaking from the emotions that we feel. Wow, it's very tied, your reading. And then we have the Chariot, Cancer energy, which is all about the emotions we have. This is the in-between tarot, okay? This is in between the Chariot and the Strength, but it pulls through as the Chariot. So Leo is the Strength. Yes. So take a look at this. So it goes from 7 to 8, Chariot to Strength. From Cancer to Leo. Okay, and then we have the tarot, which I'm not going to pull just yet. We're going to channel this information first. You guys can definitely skip ahead and see what pulls through here energetically for you guys. Okay, pile number one. Beautiful energy here. This definitely could be belonging to you or belonging to someone around you. I am feeling one energy here, and this energy is someone who is sort of in full energy or is about to be in full energy. So the big sort of change that's happening is maybe this person, and I'm reading it as this person because I'm not necessarily sold that this is you or it's going to impact your world. Okay. But you can definitely apply it to yourself. This feels like this person could be somebody who is doubtful, has been doubtful about standing behind their choices and their ability to go after certain things in life. Specifically, things that call to them, that they feel connected to, and trust themselves in order to commit themselves, dedicate themselves, invest themselves, be courageous enough to take the leap of faith. I heard for some of you guys, maybe there's a big move to a big city, or there could be like a big sort of corporate move for some of you guys, for sure. And I feel like it's a moving away, maybe from an energy that's been very, I don't know, where we could sort of hide ourselves, you know, like drown ourselves out in like, I don't know, whatever environment we have been in. And it's like this opportunity is something that would like highlight your energy or this person. I don't want to confuse you, okay? But it's coming through as like this person, and maybe choosing in the past to remain little, or choosing in the past to not be seen and not to go after it, to not make decisions, ambitious decisions, or just big choices here to follow their dreams, to follow their emotions, to trust themselves enough to do this. And it's like going against this person's truth. I think there was a big like doubt following this person in regards to, well, their own capability and their own way of seeing the world or perceiving situations around them. You know, like, I can't trust others. I can't trust a good opportunity. A good thing might not last. Everything we sort of tell ourselves. And then we continue to support that belief because it keeps us safe, or it doesn't make us sort of risk ourselves or put ourselves out there. I feel like there's definitely an ascension process, meaning there's a connecting to higher state of consciousness and understanding that frees us to make different decisions, to step forward. And it feels very freeing, of course. And so the commitment's going to change. Whereas maybe I was always committed to the growth of others, or committed to, I don't know if this is like a community of people, maybe it's a job, maybe it's like a family, maybe it's a community, maybe it's like a location, whatever this like commitment has been, it's misaligned. And then there's an acknowledgement here of like truly connecting to one's self in order to bring more peace in one's life. So it's like, I realize what brings me peace. I realize that if I love myself, I will choose what's best for me, and this will be best for others as well. So maybe we weren't sure if our move or our jump into liberating ourselves from some circumstance might have been best for everyone involved. So there could have been a lot of hesitancy. It might have just seemed like a really, really big move that we'd have to do ourselves. This feels like it's all about like one sort of decision potentially that will impact us greatly. But because we might be tied to community of people or others, that it could impact others as well. And I feel like what Spirit is talking about, because we're asking like, why is this going to change? I feel like this is tied to a creation of a life purpose here. It's like, not only is it going to bring like the harmony because it's more aligned, but I feel like there's birthing of something here that's going to create something in regards to a future build. Yeah, even with sacral. So I don't know if this is like a creative manifestation, like a book or something like this, but it doesn't necessarily have to be something sort of with purpose, like obviously everything has purpose, but I mean like a career purpose, I guess, because it feels like it's a life, it's integrated into like a life calling or a life creation is what it really feels like. And so, yeah, like if this is your energy, then it's like this commitment to align myself to this move or to break free from where I'm at allows me to make my life into this creative pursuit, and I become that in which I'm involved with. So I could see why this is a big sort of decision or a change. It's not like I just sort of show up at work and then go home. This is like I'd have to relocate and I'd have to break free from this other environment. Because like I said, for all of you guys, I don't know if it's like an actual geographical location or like a sustained community of people. It does feel like there's other people here for sure. And it's like having to leave this behind. This is all I've known. It could be leaving like a small town into a big city, or a hometown that we've lived in or that's familiar, into like a big move, or go from like a populated a populated location, city, to like something maybe that's less dense, but it feels like city here. But I think the city could represent ascension. Like some of you guys might be going to even like join like a monastery or like some sort of, sometimes comes through my reading, like there I'll get more peace. There I get more privacy. There I could get centered. There I could sort of free myself. I feel like there's definite healing from this move. This feels like a healing move. This feels like a move from out from self-love. That's like created from self-love. And I feel like if we felt really bound to or stuck to, chained to a current circumstance, situation, location, family, community, that was the reason we couldn't really move. But it's like this realization that I am responsible for my own decisions and my own life and my own future. And the truth is that if I stay, then here I don't find as much peace. So the loyalty shifts to a more truthful alignment in that in which we want for ourselves. There's a lot about no longer maybe suppressing the truth or having to convince ourselves why we have to stay or play small or remain or feel limited, feel stuck, feel chained. And I feel like this could be something that you, if this is your energy, might have known intuitively, might have known that this was more aligned, might have really been guided to make changes, might have really been connected to the truth of where this thing is or how it could go. But it's like, how can I make it a thing? How could I trust myself for the right time, or to get empowered to do this, or to, might have seemed to be a lot of obstacles that you could think that could arise as a result of choosing this direction. So the energy of truth, integrity, courage, confidence, and this ability to create comes online as a result of the shift and this decision that feels very guided. Like the energy even of these two are giving me the same, like their eyes are closed, meaning I am guided by spirit, intuitively called to move forward. But if I'm taking a blind leap of faith and I don't know what's on the other side, it's like I have to muster my courage here so I can commit to this leap, this jump. So Spirit is talking about this being very, very, very fulfilling for you, because I do feel like with this 8 cups, and then I'm getting this person sort of rowing away, which is giving me this 8 swords energy. So you're getting 8s here, like this movement away from this restricting energy that you've been in, feeling like stuck to where you have been. But it's like freeing yourself from that. And the more you sort of allow yourself the freedom to move, then there is peace to be had. Then there is less tension. There's less conflict. There's less chaos. There's more tranquility. There's more peace. There's more self-love. There's more trusting in the universe, trusting in ourselves. I feel like a current environment could be one of having to be very defensive, or even like protecting oneself, one's truth. But it could have felt very cold. It could have felt very, I don't know, we could have felt just ignored. We could have felt like we had to defend ourselves or protect ourselves. It feels like going from covering ourselves up, again, playing small, being disregarded, to like being seen. So it could be even a role that's like in the limelight, or like exposing ourselves, whatever this means to you guys, because maybe there was a fear of like making it big, or what others would say, or judging me once they see my decisions or the moves I'm making here. It's like something I can't just secretly or silently sort of do. So this is why it feels like big. There's lots that comes through here with peace, stillness, calmness, serenity, centeredness, groundedness. And I feel this comes as a result of knowing that we're choosing to be integral to our deepest truth. It feels very sweet as well, like abundant blessings, you know, this choice. And maybe we I don't know, in our current environment, we like shut out big blessings, or like the opportunity to engage in something that might have seemed like it was too good for us, or it'd be too, I don't know, we were doubting maybe that it would last, or that it's just temporary or something like this. But it's saying like, no, it's sustainable. This is where peace happens. It's something we could commit to and be loyal to. But I feel like it gives us purpose and meaning. And then I feel like because it is aligned with truth, it like supports us to build it the way we want. Okay, because I feel I don't know, missing a whole bunch of stuff here. But I mean, what I did channel is definitely clear. We have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Leo, and Aries, and Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy pulling through. So let's see, Spirit, clear and concise message for beautiful pile number 1 regarding this major life change. And can we see, what is this about? Like, it definitely requires leaving something behind that I do feel you might have felt chained to or responsible to, you know, but it's almost like this energy that you were staying with, like, was not really concerned with your happiness or your growth. It's like we could stay there forever, committed to the wrong, misaligned community, misaligned job, misaligned place, and completely sit on our dream. And this feels like I'm going after my dream. I'm no longer scared to pursue my dream. And the dream rewards you in kind here. And I feel like there's a real, you know, like face first into this, like, dream. It's not like I'm going to take this tiny little step. It's like I'm going to go for it. I'm going to invest in it. I'm going to commit to it. I'm going to see how this just goes when I step towards it. So let's see, Spirit. Clear and concise message for pile 1. How is their life about to shift and change here? 5 swords. I'm going to read them all in the upright, okay? 5 of swords, 5 of air. It says mistakes, melodrama, and resentments. So this could definitely be the tension where you're at. It's like, how do I get out of here? How do I plan to move forward? It might feel almost like every day we have to sort of strategize to stay afloat or to like find happiness or peace where we're at. It's like, I just want to be where I can focus on what I can create rather than having to explain myself, defend myself. Like I said, defensive, feels cold. It feels like I have to be guarded. I have to protect myself. So I want to just shut this all out. The 4 of Pentacles. So we definitely could have felt very restricted by whatever our environment was providing. And like normally when we sit in a 4 Pentacle, there's a fear that if we were to let go of the bit of stability, we could be without stability completely. And so there's this like maintaining where we're at, this comfort zone, this need for control. But usually it says you're more stable than you think. Here we have 44. 44 is a master number. Integrity is a foundation, treating the earth as home and a temple, manifestation, and leadership. So it's like, yeah, like get into your Aries energy, come out of your comfort zone, and don't be too frugal here, held back or thinking of the what ifs, because this environment is like a 5-sword environment. Okay, so we see frugalness, extravagance, and control. We have a sideways card here. The Hermit, introspection, self-discovery, and mentorship. So Hermit is when we're fully sort of removed, isolated, reflecting, going inwards. The Hermit in reverse could be coming out of this period or a need to understand what we want. This is in a sideways. So I think you're in the process of really understanding the truth of alignment for yourself. Okay, if this is your energy, like I said, it's like finally seeing the truth being honest with the truth. And so maybe we've been in this middle ground for some time. It's like, I kind of know the truth, but nothing sealed the deal or something like this, you know? Maybe we're still feeling like we need control, or there's some unknown here. There's some other thing that needs to line up before we can move towards this. The Three of Fire. Goals, expansion, vision, and reverse. So I'm being blocked from my own goals, my own expansion. Eight of Wands in the reverse. Speed, activity, and multitasking in the reverse. Now, I did say I wasn't reading reversals, but I do feel this is the challenge. And this is the thing that's opening up. Where I felt I couldn't move, expand, grow, I had a vision, a desire to move. It's like I needed to break out of the comfort zone, break out of the thing that's holding me back, understand the reason or how to commit and be loyal to the movement, the unknown, the growth. I really feel this is what's shifting here. I think you've been planning, strategizing, thinking, but it's like, what needs to come in order for me to know how to or when to do this? Two of Swords, indecision, avoidance, confusion. Yeah, so I'm not sure. And I need to understand. I need to pick my truth. Something, again, like I said, about being truthful with oneself. And it's like fence sitting here, maybe feeling obligated to stay where we're at, but we know it's not the truth. And then we get stuck here. Let's see, why is this Four of Pentacles here? And why is the Four of Pentacles here? Then we're going to ask, how do you do this? Okay, Page of Pentacles. Studious, prepared, and cheerful. This is the opportunity itself. So I think you know that there's an opportunity for sure. Okay, so here he's holding a letter. I don't know, the opportunity presented itself to pursue, but it would require us choosing, us communicating, us taking action, which is the Aries energy. And I don't know how much time we spent sort of in introspection, maybe like fence sitting, not quite pulling the trigger, still sort of maybe trying to, I don't know, convince others or come out with an exit strategy, plan for a safe exit of something, or safe travels, or like how to do this in a way that it doesn't threaten my finances or my now position. Because we do feel a sense of security here, but look at the chains again. I feel like your environment, if this is you, I always got to say this because this is how it comes through. Feel that devil energy of the chains, feeling bound to something, stuck. It's like not a good feeling. It doesn't feel free. It feels like I have to stay here, you know, because here, I don't know, like even though there is some choice in the matter, it doesn't really feel like it's some choice. But what Spirit's saying is it is, because it's as clear as you deciding to step forward, that whatever this decision is not a bigger risk as maybe we saw, and that opportunity that you do see is an opportunity for growth and movement and freedom and peace and liberation. And it's like there's many different sort of outcomes as a result of heading in that direction, that we have choice, we have flexibility and freedom. It's not like a one path. And maybe we're seeing it, because I was going to ask, how do we come to this sort of understanding? It could be very maddening to sit in Two Swords here, waiting and not knowing and sort of feeling at the mercy of the universe, like having to deliver more so we know for certain we're choosing the right path, but both seem, maybe there's like the devil we know, which doesn't feel good for sure. And I think you know that. And then it's like, it could be worse. But I feel like there's an illusion in that in which you see for the opportunity, because what Spirit is showing is that opportunity that is presenting itself isn't a one path. And I think you see it as a one path. And as long as you see it in that one way, then for sure it's like it could be bad, or you could see the thing that could go wrong, or the thing that puts something at risk, or the thing, but Spirit is saying that other path is actually many things open up, and it's actually a freedom. It's not a restriction. But I think we're not seeing it this way. And so we sort of stay put looking at the risk. And so the 4 plus the 1 with the Page of Pentacles makes 5. And it's like my risk is that I'd have to be exposed to a 5 pentacle energy, meaning I could be left out in the cold. I could risk it all. I could lose my financial freedom, or I could be kicked out of my home and have like no place to live, or I could lose this job, or I could have no more money, or something about the pentacle realm. And it's like, right now I'm secure. Right now, at least I have a place to live. Right now, at least I have a job. So like, what if I quit my job, then I don't have one? What if I leave my house and then I'm homeless? What if I like that? And that's this one sword. And it's saying, no, like when you leave your job or leave that location or that home, it's like, this is where the growth happens. This is where the movement happens. This is where you break free from situations where you might have felt like your environment was like challenging you. There's a lot of defensive, guarded energy. And I feel like you're being guided for sure by this, like, this guide here, angelic guidance. Even this lady is sort of sitting here, so like, I'm not playing this game no more. I'm being guided to make change. So let's see one more card here, and then we'll ask, how does it sort of unfold here? The 2 of Wands, the decision, planning, partnering, and progress. Yeah, so the 2 Wands comes before the 3 Wands, and it's like we want to prepare, we want to plan, we want to get everything sort of lay the groundwork to choose. And these are crossroads. But this is more torn because this is more like the indecision. There's like these 2 sort of worlds that we have to sort of reconcile in some way. And we could have understandings that might contradict, or that might not necessarily be even true here, that could keep us feeling frozen, whereas the 2 Wands, it's like I could stick to the world I know, or I could like be adventurous and choose the wand that's more in line with where I'm being guided, even though there might be some unknown here. And look at the shooting star. I feel like a wish comes true in this other path. It's more aligned with your purpose and your calling, or this person, and you could be involved in this other path here for sure. Wow. Okay. So now that we see this, like, what are we missing exactly? How does pile 1, or this person I'm channeling here, get to this understanding? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 1. What does pile 1 need to know about how this decision comes about? How does it shift for them, this leaving behind what no longer serves? I feel you really transform as a result of this. And I'm really surprised that the Fool didn't come forward. But I feel like the Fool almost is really like comes from the angle of there is like no real planning is so much, but I feel like this has already been like, we planned, we reviewed, we reflected, we considered, we tried to lay the groundwork. Like, I don't know how torn you've been here, but it's like there's so much planning we can do before we have to just be courageous. This is what it feels like. It's like, now is the time to be courageous. Now is the time to make the move. Now is the time to choose. There's no more planning. And it's like, either we trust in this decision, the others in that decision, and ourselves. Okay, stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, see the light in the world. Or I see it as, I don't know, the thing that could go very poorly, or like I'll be out in the cold because And we're just looking at the downside of making change. And of course, that's with anything. If I step outside, I could get hit by an automobile. If I stay inside, chances of me getting hit by an automobile are way less. Yes, true, but if I stay inside, I don't do anything. Here's the King of Pentacles. Beautiful. So this is the confirmation you need. Pile number 1. The Pentacle suit goes all the way to the King of Pentacles. Ultimate success in the financial resources here. I think this is the big fear. I'll be without money, or without a home, or without the job, or without the support I need, the resource I need, the stability and the security I need. No. Prosperous, generous, successful. I think this is the ultimate outcome here. By you shifting and maybe seeing it as something that would build to an ultimate stability instead of something that would make me be a 5 pentacle, because I think you see it as a 5 pentacle. Look, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. I think you have resources, and this is probably why I've been channeling it this way, if this is your energy, because I feel like you have a partner, or there's someone here to help you, and maybe, I don't know if you could trust them. Maybe you don't trust them, or you think, could I rely on them? Are we actually going to work together or build together? I feel like this energy, when it talked in the book, it's like someone who is sort of selfless here in a way that she's waiting for her husband. Okay, and the Queen of Pentacles could be like the single mom energy too, like a resourceful person who wants to see your success, wants to see you grow. But there's something about working together to build a future. Okay, so your environment has, I don't know, like the right support. And in the environment you're in, I feel is 5 swords. It's not the people that could, I don't know, support this growth in you. I don't feel you can depend on those people in the same way. I feel like this is, I don't know, a partnership that's aligned that could build a very secure future that you could commit to. This is the King of Loyalty. We have loyalty right here. And build some empire here. Okay, whatever the empire is that makes us feel secure. This could be an empire of freedom when it comes to like just even being at peace with oneself. Like, look at all this beautiful greenery. Like, I don't know, some of you guys might really like the outdoors. Maybe it's like, I want to go again from the populated city to maybe like living off grid, or being more free, or buying a homestead, or like, I don't know. But initially I got moved to the city, and I don't know, like I said, if those buildings was maybe feeling more connected to God because they're high rise, it's like ascension. And maybe we thought it's going to be isolating. I'm going to isolate myself. I'm going from the busyness or from the groups of people that I know to this unfamiliar energy. But I feel it feels more like home, because I do feel it feels more supported and you feel seen. Okay, interesting energy. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn energy. Lots of earth coming through. 7 of Swords. So this is because we're asking, like, how do we get there? 7 swords. Remember, we saw that card over here, which is 5 swords, and there was like a chessboard. It says strategic. Okay, strategizing. That's 7 swords. It's like, I have to strategize. I have to plan. Even the 2 of Wands is like, how do I plan? And maybe like, how do I keep my dreams to myself without it being revealed or known or seen? And I have to plan something here. I have to be very cautious of how I'm planning all this stuff. But it's like, sometimes we're not seeing clearly. And I feel like what we were seeing was 2 swords. The 2 swords that was here was this path, this opportunity. We weren't seeing it very clear. Could have been lying to ourselves about what it could mean and how it could go. Okay, awareness, caution, and consequence. Like looking at what would be the consequence, and then attaching an understanding to that consequence that we don't like. Meanwhile, it's like, no, the opportunity will allow for growth and stability. And we might have seen it as, no, it's going to allow for a 5 pentacle. It's going to leave me without. And so I'm staying for pentacle. comfort zone, not taking a chance, not trusting the good there. There's that guidance again. This could be like a dream your inner child had too, to align with something like this. It feels very beautiful. Okay, the moon. So intuition, illusion, and revelation. So for sure, 7 swords and the moon talk about being deceived. And now deceived by what? Deceived by an understanding. Maybe the fear is so strong that it creates and projects this unknown to me. And so the fear or the illusion that it's cast on the unknowns or the uncertainty has all these shadows, and that's the thing that I believe. So now I'm deceived by my own self-speak, by my own magnification of the fear. And then I make decisions on that. And I think this is where we've been. Out there, this decision, this choice, and then I magnify it in the worst possible way that it could go. And then I stay under that illusion and I get the consequences of that. And the consequences I feel is feeling 5 sword, defensive, cold, misunderstood, not in peace, going against our truth. And we're committed to that energy, or that we're choosing that. And we're sleeping on our dream here. And meanwhile, the intuition is guiding us, calling, waking us up, saying, are you aware? Are you able to see through this illusion? Because on this other side, when you see through this lie, you'll see that your blessing is here. Yeah. 7 of fire. That's the 7 wands. Challenge, determination, resistance. Remember, we're not reading reversals, but this is what shifts. It's like, I'm not going to fight for my dream, because when the illusion is cast here, I believe it so much that I don't face the adversity. This comes before the 8 wands, before the breakthrough. Before the breakthrough is the 7 wands. Because I have to fight for what I believe, what matters here. And if I don't know really what matters because I'm under one belief, then I continue to reinforce that, even if it's untrue, out of a need for, I don't know, protection, or to be cautious, or to maintain this position here. And then I don't move towards or fight for what it is that I want. But I think a lot of you guys have been just sort of keeping your dream to yourself, or just accepting the fact that it's not going to happen. You know, it's like, for all of you guys, it's like I feel something that's really tied to your soul, a dream, a creative pursuit, a move somewhere, a giant step forward away from something. And it's like leaving what I know behind. Could be very scary, you know? And then we just magnify it into, that could be the worst thing, so I'll just sort of stay put. Okay, the Ace of Swords in reverse. Inspiration, communication, adjustments. So again, like I wasn't, but the 2 swords, both of them sort of pointing down, like I said, we weren't being honest with our clear seeing. And it was like the intuition kept guiding, but I was like choosing to see the illusion in it, or I was choosing to keep the untrue understanding alive. And I think the way you break through this is like being completely clear and honest about your position. Take responsibility for your life as a creative adventure, and stay calm, trust the good in yourself and others, see the light in the world, rather than maybe seeing the shadow side. I feel like there is this truth. What really matters to me? Am I ready to face this? This determination also comes with this loyalty. It's like, I'm determined to speak my truth. I'm determined to communicate what matters to me. And again, more child energy. I feel it really speaks to your inner child here. And I do feel it's something to do with independence and freedom, but also tied to family, soul family. And maybe it's like switching from one sort of understanding to another understanding, that it's like one soul family or one experience to another. That's like, it's like we have to be independent enough to align ourselves with who and what matters to us. And this tower energy is giving me like isolated, cold, and maybe we feel like, am I just going into another cold, isolated environment, and all of this move is just going to land me in the same place, except all of this sort of, I don't know, like energy that's going to be expend, like fighting for a change or shift, and then I find myself sort of in the same position. But it's like saying, like, this is an illusion, this isn't the truth necessarily, what you're thinking. And maybe you just feel like, I don't have it in me to like fight for this thing or stand up for this thing, believe in this thing at this time. And this definitely shifts and changes, because I think you see through the thought process here. So I don't feel it's like a something sudden that sort of happens. I feel like it's a final acceptance of seeing something as it truly is, not through the lens of fear, that allows you to step towards truth here. Okay, yeah, 6 of fire, success, recognition, and self-esteem. 6 wands. And the wheel. Wow. Luck, progress, change. That's the wheel of fortune. Look at all the children. Just little cherubs or like angels. So, wow. Pile number 1. There's so many little side stories, okay? I feel like this move for a lot of you guys is going to be the best thing that you could possibly do for yourself. I feel like the only reason we would really sort of remain where we are, yes, the fear and the story we make to tell ourselves, but underneath it, I think there's a deeper truth. And we have to really sit with ourselves and asking, like, what's the deep truth here? There might be a lot of fear. There might be a low self-esteem, or really, truly, some understanding we have where we don't want to be sort of in the spotlight or seen, because fill in the blank. There might be great fear in this, because with being seen, yes, could come great success, but it could also come like the polar opposite of that, you know? Like if a spotlight's on me and I screw up, like then my failures will be highlighted too in some way, you know? But I feel like there is you succeeding on the other side of this, being seen, being celebrated, and you supporting yourself and others supporting you. And maybe it's like this energy of like, I'd be on my own, I'd have to prove myself, I'd have to fight, I'd have to, you know, and it's like, no, you just have to overcome the initial beliefs that aren't necessarily true and see that truth. And then once you see it, everything else I don't feel is a fight. The fight here is fighting through the illusion or the belief that's saying that you can't, or that it'll be like less aligned for you. So I also feel like the universe has been guiding you 100%. Guidance was coming through very strong. Divine guidance through your dreams, through your intuition, through an inner knowing. And I feel like maybe there is a little bit of this divine timing that comes through, because we were really asking, like, how does it just shift all of a sudden? This is the wheel of like the universe sort of changing circumstances that lean towards our benefits. Luck happens, if you want to call it luck, or divine intervention, or like circumstances change all of a sudden. There's progress, there's shifts, there's movement. And I feel like as things shift and change organically in your world, I think the illusion falls away and we see more clearly our position. It's like, whoa, I am in a position to succeed. I am on a higher ground. And all of the stuff that maybe I seen as challenge to overcome, it was sort of draining, and it was kind of saying, well, it's too much. I'll just sort of not even go there, you know? But it's like when we sit there and totally sit with the truth, that it's like, no, I am in a position to speak my truth and fight for what I believe in from the angle of not necessarily having to like go against the grain, but it's like stand up for what I believe in, like be honest about what I want to myself, and then have the courage to just allow myself to want that without having to explain it, without talking myself out of it, without I don't know, saying the worst thing possible could happen, or having to like upkeep some story to protect myself there more. But it's like it never gets better in the circumstance we're in. It's like the energy shifts. It gives me an opening for me to move in truth towards that in which I want. And I do feel Spirit saying you get to build this beautiful empire. You are successful. This is a card that's a success. The King of Earth is a successful king when it comes to financial matters, when it comes to building his security. Okay, the Six of Wands is about success, recognition. So I don't know, this is like a career decision, but I feel it's a life decision. You know, a life decision that lets me live the life I want. And the security I get from this, it then gives me the peace I need, the stability I need. Because I feel like there's something, like I said, about peace, serenity, happiness. Yeah. And independence and freedom that comes from making this decision. But I think it aligns you with your soul tribe. And I feel it gets you out of any circumstance that is definitely misaligned, where you feel like you might have to be defensive, explain yourself, guarded, or just like alone or not seen, or it's too like, I don't know. It felt almost like everyone was sort of had their own plan, their own agenda, their own things going on, and you were sort of like hiding amongst that energy. Yeah, look at this beautiful Ace of Pentacles. New beginning. New beginning. Look how cute. This reminds me of my son on his first day of kindergarten. I have a picture, almost it looks exactly like this. Abundance, opportunity, and resources. It even has an A, which is really cute because that's his first initial. How cute. So how was he on his first day of kindergarten? Even the little glasses. Super excited, you know? How did we feel on our first day of kindergarten? It was like, whoa. Like, we're sort of scared, you know, really scared for sure. But it's like we always wanted to be like our big brother or big sister, you know? When we go into kindergarten, it's like I'm going to be an adult like my parent, or I'm just going to... We feel special because that final day has arisen where we get a chance to grow, and like it feels right, even though we're scared. Look at this feather glowing too. I had an inkling to pull a feather here for some reason. I don't normally pull random objects here. I mean, I have lots, but not on my reading table. And I felt like called to the feather because the feather talks about being on the right path, like being given the sign, symbol, synchronicities by our ancestors, by spirit. So when we see one on our path, it's like you're on the right path and you are protected. You are being divinely guided. Like it's totally coming through this way for your reading. And then the butterfly, of course, as we know, is the freedom, is the transformation that happens. It's being free from that in which held us back, and it transforms us to our highest potential. It's all the trees, again, about the stability. And maybe we felt like a little kid, again, this like inner child energy. It's like, I'm going to be a kid. Maybe I have to learn it all. And I don't know that I am capable of like learning all this or starting from the beginning. Maybe that's the fear. Like, I don't want to start from the beginning, you know, but then we're Four Pentacle and happy. And it's like, no, it's exciting. And like, you'll have things you don't know, but look how close he's holding this book. It'll be shown to you. It'll be understood by you. You'll learn more about yourself and things will be revealed to you. And because I really saw that Eight Wands as like different sort of openings, was like, there'll be so many different experiences and paths. We're not stuck to one sort of do or die. It's going to fail. It's like, no, this is morph into different decisions and different creations. Just like school becomes like after we're done school, it's like, who do we want to become? Where do we want to go? Like, it's up to us because we've done the thing and we could then open the door to our future. I feel it gives you a freedom for your future. It's so cute. Yeah. So beautiful people, your life is really changing here, okay? In a big way here. I think your environment's going to change. I think for a lot of you guys, like, of course, if this is your energy, your, it's going to impact your, I think, your career, your purpose, the people around you, where you live, how you see your future, how you see yourself, maybe even your own confidence, how others see you. It feels very warm and it feels very beautiful here. Okay. And spirit is confirming success, like abundance and security and celebration, being aligned to this thing. Pile 1, this is your reading. I hope this helped you. I love you very much. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Pile number 1, I totally forgot to do your healing and clarity oracle, and I do want to add a few more oracle cards here to your reading. Okay, what's going to help pile number 1 while they transition from this older energy into this new energy? What do they need to know? Spirit, clear and concise message for pile 1. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of what it is pile 1 is needing to know about this transition. One more. 2 more. All right. So we have wisdom, Rosemary. It's a little kid holding his book. Trigger statement, it doesn't make sense. The true statement, I see the bigger picture. Yes, beautiful. So we challenge that 4 pentacle, okay? You're moving towards a deeper level of understanding, from knowledge to wisdom. Take time to absorb the lessons. Beautiful. And then we have Cassia, confidence, trigger statement. I can't do that, but the true statement is, I am light. Step forward and be the bright light that you are. Serve your purpose to the world by sharing your amazing gifts. Wow. See, confidence, that's that self-worth and self-love and supporting your dream, taking that step forward. Learning through a process doesn't mean that we don't know. It's a beautiful thing. And when we see the bigger picture, that I might struggle in ways that aren't impacting the big picture, but it's a process of the wisdom. And then we move differently. We allow for ourselves to make choices and decisions. Wild orange, good fortune. That's the wheel of fortune. Trigger statement, there is not enough, but the true statement, I attract abundance. Feel the joy you would have once you have reached your goals here and now. You will achieve your dreams fastest that way. Wow, pile, when you're achieving your dreams, for sure. And spirit is with you with this good fortune. Okay, now's the time. So wintergreen with trust. Trigger statement, what if something happens? 4 pentacle energy, the 2 of sword energy. Okay, the true statement, I take my hands off the wheel. You are not alone. The universe is working with you. Relax and enjoy the adventure. If you guys were looking for confirmation to take this leap of faith, pile 1, this is coming for you. It's shifting your world, okay? Wow. Turmeric, belief, trigger statement. It is too late. The true statement, I am free to believe. You are clearing away beliefs, energy, and memories that no longer serve you, so the necessary decisions will be made. Yes. Power's in your hands. It's all about the belief in self, okay? Destiny. Oh my gosh, what did I say? Roman chamomile. It says, trigger statement, I am lost. The true statement, I do what I love. There is a path waiting just for you. Open your heart and mind so you can use it on your journey of fulfillment. It's everything I've channeled here. All exactly every single aspect. Luck, the wheel of fortune, destiny, the guidance, your beliefs when you are seeing what could go wrong. Okay, the confidence to make that choice, to pull the trigger, the wisdom you gain through the experience. And all the different things that sort of happen here. There's a bigger picture rather than, looking at what may go wrong and only the thing that could go wrong. Okay, and then hands off the wheel to trust yourselves, trust spirit to make these decisions. So, beautiful angel, I love this for you guys. I feel you're really aligning with something huge here for yourselves. Okay, and I do feel like it is a helping hand from spirit, of course. Okay, but it's like, we can fight spirit all day long if our beliefs are sort of stuck, if we're not in the proper energy to align. It's like, Spirit, I trust you to make this decision. And I think once you get to this other side, it's like you do what you love. You attract this abundance. Okay, and you give birth to whatever this purpose is. Pile 1. Now I'm done. That's your reading. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. You picked this cute little turtle right here with the little dusty neck. I gotta dust my little trinkets here. Pile 2. Let's get into your reading. So we're looking at what major life changes are going to take place here that are going to completely shift your world. Okay, so we have pre-shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at these. And then we'll pull some tarot and dive into the energy a little bit better. Okay, if you don't resonate with this being your energy, your pile, then you can go to another pile. Sometimes we tap into people around you. Okay, so this could be people around you, situation, circumstance, energy that's going to shift your world. So just apply it accordingly. So we have 1 of keys, the architect. Wow. The architect. And then we have the 7 of cups. It's the lady's at the grocery store and she's pulling from apples. 7 cups. Okay, and then we have 16 with let go. Pull this up so you guys can take a look. So a lot of cow energy. Don't generally channel the cow. I'm not sure what the cow means spiritually. You might want to look that up. Maybe there you guys have a lot of cows where you're at. Just looks like a bull. I'm feeling Taurus energy from the cow, although I know that the Taurus is a bull. Also getting some Temperance energy from the center. She has her 2 hands sort of pouring out. It looks, instead of together, it's pouring out of 2 different sides, kind of like star energy too. Feeling a lot of Sagittarius. Here she's pulling an apple, same with here. She's about to eat the apple. I don't know if you guys saw that. And then I'm getting Gemini energy from these 2 little twins here. And here she's pulling the apple. Fascinating. I'm going to read this as well because I don't generally use this deck, but I feel there's something here. All right. Time I pull the deck, all my cards want to fall out. Let's see. What is this 1 of keys? The architect. 1 of keys. Scrolls, roses, forces. I think keys are at the yes. So it says, upright, a man and a woman in rich Egyptian dress stand at a table filled with structural drawings and measuring utensils. He is the architect of all they survey, and he points to an unseen building in the expansive project. Throughout the scene, many workers toil on foundations, pylons, and palaces. At a mundane level, you could find yourself involved in a building project or renovating and redecorating your home or workplace. Most important, this card shows that it's time for you to step into a position of power. In order to do that, you must recognize your talents and strengths as well as your authority to take charge. An opportunity beckons that utilizes your skills perfectly. Feel the command you have over the great scope of the situation and take charge. In the reverse, plans have changed or perhaps have fallen through. There may be things that you can't seem to control, or even you've lost your belief in your own talent and authority, even if a particularly large task lies before you. Don't just give up. It's time to wake up to your power and work the plan. If the plan is in a state of collapse, start a new one, or at least consider some actions that you can take to reclaim your power and start anew. Okay. Interesting energy. Don't know if it belongs to you, but we'll keep going before we channel. Wow, the white eagle ancestor spirit says connect to your lineage. A family wound or pattern can be healed now. Ancestors. You know what's so interesting? I was telling pile one, I don't normally pull something just as sort of decoration sometimes, but I pulled this feather. It wasn't really a part of the reading, and it's come through for pile one. And again, it's coming through for your reading here. Look at all these feathers. For me, the feather symbolizes when we find them, it's like a symbol that we're on the right path. We're being guided by our ancestors. They're coming down to say, hey, I see you. You're protected. Keep going down your path. Okay, so this is talking about the ancestor spirit. I feel there's an ancestor here guiding you or confirming something to you. Okay, so let's see. 16 is the number of the tower too with this let go. Okay, and then we have the duck and chrysanthemum with luck. Wheel of Fortune energy with the 10. Okay, and then we have the collective field is impacting you. Unseen forces in action. How can you relinquish control of the situation that feels blocked? 38. Or the number 11. This is what we read here almost, you know? Like some collapse of something. It almost felt like a tower energy. Unseen forces in action. That's what this Wheel of Fortune is. How can you relinquish control of a situation that feels blocked? 7 cups. Not necessarily clear to us yet. Okay, so we have the third eye. Interference. Interference. The number 6, and this is the third eye chakra. Now, I wrote third eye here because this book or this deck, the colors don't necessarily match the traditional chakra colors because blue is about the throat chakra. Okay, like authentic self-expression. And the third eye is purple. Okay, which obviously doesn't coincide here, but that could mean something here for sure. But interference, I do feel there's external interference here, and the third eye is the intuition. Okay, and then we have the King of Wands from the In-Between Tarot. So King of Wands, and then the other side of the King of Wands is this Page of Wands. Interesting how this In-Between Tarot, and I never noticed. It didn't go from a King of Wands back to an Ace of Wands. It went to the Page. That's fascinating. King of Wands to the Page of Wands. This is adult and a child, and she's wearing blue. The blue is authentic self-expression. There she's wearing white, which is the pure self, the authentic self. There goes my email confirming. So the King of Wands is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. I was feeling strong Sagittarius from this card here. Even some Leo from this big sun. Wheel of Fortune energy. Why is she picking this apple? Something about abundance coming through. Okay, no, I'm not going to pull the tarot just yet. We're going to channel this. Then we'll pull some tarot and see what's about to shift and change here in your world. And then we'll pull tarot once we begin this. Give me a moment. Okay, pile number 2. This is a very, very interesting energy here, okay? It might become more clear as I sort of channel it, because I don't know necessarily that I'm tying all the ends together here, but the message comes through clear, and for some of you guys, this might be very, very reassuring, okay? Because what I feel is going on in your world is like very divine experience that feels very distorted in some way, you know? It's not necessarily saying you're distorted or there's distortions you have so much. It's saying that the universe has come between you and your world at this point in time. And if you don't feel this is the case, then this might not necessarily be your pile, because the shift here is the recognition that this intervention that's happening is really healing a lot of ancestral energy, wounding beliefs, patterns, challenges, things that might have really needed to be let go of, okay, like seen through, worked through. And so without this universal intervention, or the universe coming, creating all sorts of challenges for you, because I don't feel it's been a pleasant destiny sort of intervening, but it feels very much like the universe, with help of your ancestors, creating a circumstance, maybe like a phase in your life that's been very challenging, where things feel like they're collapsing. It feels like a tower. It feels like things aren't going as planned. It feels like I'm going from an energy of being very confident, well aligned, having the ability to plan my future, the confidence to execute it, and the vision to understand it has sort of gone away. And it feels almost like you've been demoted in the universal language, okay? If that's even how we say it, it almost feels like I feel like I've taken a step, like several steps back, from like this King of Wands energy to this Page of Wands energy. Okay, and so when we look at that, we might say, why would we want to demote ourselves from a King of Wands to Page of Wands? But I feel in this time in your life, I feel like the Page of Wands energy is something in which you're being prepped to become, because the Page of Wands is able to go where this King of Wands isn't. So of course the King of Wands has the more experience and all of this stuff, and he could succeed, okay? But I feel like where you're going is requiring a more of a Page of Wands energy to be able to go with the flow of what the universe has in front of you, so that you can be in the proper energy to dance with the universe differently. Because this King of Wands would have danced differently. He would have maybe had his eye and a vision on something, and he could be like trying to force something, or like really like use his will towards something, whereas the Page of Wands is way more flexible, and it could go further, by the discoveries of the unknown. Because I feel like there is something about, well, with the third eye is totally intuition, okay, but when I get the intuition coming from the fire, it's like a reactive energy that we get from experience. And when we are acting from the intuition, because we have a lot of experience, it could guide us in a certain way, but it's almost like this more like carefree energy, explorative energy, the unknown, then it sort of guides us in a different direction. And so I'm not quite sure exactly yet, because we're still going to do the tarot here, like what this all means so much. But it's like your environment is impacting you so much so, and it really feels it's out of your control, so much so that your process here is about surrendering, allowing things to be, learning about this new aspect of self, so that you can create a new world or a new opportunity in a way that you're sort of destined to experience. I feel like there's lots here about abundance that comes through with all this apple energy. Okay, like lots of apples here. She's eating this apple, she's picking this apple, and the Seven of Cups could definitely talk about like a need to choose wisely, and maybe like not necessarily seeing the right alignment here initially, being confused, or just like being overwhelmed by too many things, or like not making something a reality here. And here it's like she could see beyond the veil of like what is abundant, to choose the abundant thing. And I think to choose the abundant thing, we have to be in this Page of Wands energy. And it might be very uncomfortable to be in a Page of Wands energy, especially if we've come from a King of Wands. Like it feels like Yeah, almost like this is what we have to let go of that identification to who I was, who I relied upon myself to be in order to succeed. Because this is requiring the eyes of the Page of Wands to see the abundance, to see the alignment and the right decision. And I don't know, like this connect to your lineage, a family wound or pattern can be healed now. So part of this big change is healing this thing that could have been really like guiding or leading your decisions. But I don't know, why was it so bad? Like, why is there a need for this? I don't really understand, and not that it says it's bad, but when we have to heal something, that means there's a wound that is creating, like, I mean, the King of Wands in the shadow could be very identified, could be very egoic, could be very much holding an understanding of what success means and what it looks like, and not being able to see like the deeper truth of where success actually lives within him, inside himself, that isn't attached to identity. It goes deeper. It's like this inner truth, this pure self. It's not what this King of Wands can achieve or what success he can attain, or but it's like, wow, like I can connect to a greater sense of truth, and not through a doing, but through a connecting, which is more fulfilling abundance. I don't know. Let's see what happens here. Spirit, for pile number 2, can we take a look at what is shifting drastically in their world? What changes are happening in their world that's going to majorly change their life? What major changes are happening in their life? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2. Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. I won't be reading any reversals here, okay? Although I will channel it as I feel it. But let's see. What major changes are happening in pile 2's life? What are the major changes that are unfolding for pile 2? We have the 7 of Earth, 7 Pentacles, investment, assessment, patience. And we have the King of Pentacles. This came out for pile 1. Prosperous, generous, successful. More Pentacle energy. We have the Star. Look at the water pouring out. Exactly what I said when I laid this one out. It was really standing out. I don't know if she's pouring water, but it's the exact same sort of imagery. Look at that. Like right here. Why is there water pouring out? Star energy. The Aquarius energy. Inspiration, fulfillment, and faith. Okay, why is this 7 of Pentacles here? Why is the 7 Pentacles here? What is shifting here? The 4 of Swords. Meditation, recuperation, and contemplation. Why is this King of Pentacles? The 5 of Cups. Disappointment, regret, and forgiveness. Okay, and then finally, why do we have this Star energy here? Why is the Star here? Seven of Cups. Again, you guys, choices, over-analyzing, and procrastination. Well, the King of Wands doesn't procrastinate. However, okay, this is kind of making sense. Give me a moment. 4 of Pentacles, and then the Queen of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, you guys, this came out for pile 1, the King and Queen of Pentacles. Okay, well, she came out in the, what's this called? The Akashic Tarot. But she's coming out here in this tarot. Okay, the King and Queen of Pentacles. Gracious, practical, capable. 4 Pentacles. So Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Aquarius energy. Give me a moment here to sit with this energy so I could really channel. And look, 44, master number. Integrity is a foundation, treating the earth as home in a temple, manifestation and leadership. Okay, just give me a moment. Wow, okay. The Ace of Cups. Emotions, relationships, intuition. The 10 of Swords. Endings, recovery, and freedom. Okay, pile 1. I have a big fat question mark with this 7 Cups energy, and I think this is it. Because it's tying me back to this Page of Wands energy that I was feeling throughout your reading. So what is clear here is I feel like there's an energy that you've been in. The 7 of Pentacle energy could be very, very exhausting because we could do everything sort of right, you know? We could be invested, we could be committed, we could be dedicated, we could be persistent, we could be consistently sort of putting forth as much as we can and our patience here in something that we might feel as though like hasn't yet blossomed. We haven't seen the fruits. Okay, there's all this apple, the fruits of our labor. And I don't know like what this is going towards, but I do feel like with the King and the Queen of Pentacles, this could be something very close to you. So it could be a partnership here, like either you know, like an intimate partnership or like a business partnership, or it could represent like the people you're trying to work with to create something. And it's like you can only really manage your own energy. And then there's another side to the equation. The other side to the equation, I feel, is the thing that we're trying to do something here, however we can do it. And what I feel is happening here is like Spirit is intervening with that energy I was telling you about, where what we are experiencing isn't necessarily reflecting our efforts. So it's like this King of Wands energy that can visualize, conquer, succeed, know the right thing, do the right thing, align, and then succeed, and then get his fruit. Here is like, no, the King of Wands hasn't been able to secure the fruit. The energy, the effort hasn't been working. This new beginning that I feel is like desired by you to create some form of foundation, some form of stability or success, or like being able to explore something here. I feel like what we're experiencing might be like feeling really obstacles in the way. And this is like the universe like creating all sorts of experiences here, because the universe is saying like there's a need for you to find an inner peace. There's a need for you to let go, give your take your foot off the gas, allow the universe to sort of do what the universe does. Okay, because this Page of Wands energy now comes through as like the energy we're needing to encompass. And the Page of Wands doesn't necessarily know exactly what needs to be done or what to do. He goes with the flow. And I feel like in order for us to graduate to that Page of Wands energy, we have to go through some understanding here. And it feels like a disappointment, a letdown. It's like my investment didn't succeed. My efforts weren't seen. My experience didn't produce. My commitment wasn't rewarded. Like that sort of an energy. All I got left with was empty-handedness, disappointment. I carried an energy that made me feel like I couldn't move, or made me feel like I'm missing out. I'm still missing out no matter what. And I have this dream, this understanding, this vision, this aim. And the King of Wands does not want to give up on his dreams, his aim, and his vision, you know? So what is this about? This is like course correcting. How the Page of Wands can course correct. Page of Wands is going to be humble enough to say, universe, I don't know. I will follow your lead. I sort of see what could be for me. I have faith in this unfolding, but of myself, I do nothing, and I'm at the mercy of wherever this unfolds. And of myself, I can't do more, be more, invest more, spend more time, all of this stuff. But what it does require me to be is patient with the unfolding, get grounded, get centered, find peace within myself, not get lost in the disappointments and what hasn't. And then the unfolding sort of happens here, because I feel like there's a dream of a future here that doesn't seem like a reality. Oh my gosh, you guys, 444 is coming out, and look at this 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. And pile 1 had a lot of 3s. Even this 4 of Earth. We have 3 4s and a 4 4. So 4s, stability, planning, foundations, structure. That's this King and Queen of Pentacles. 4 is all about material reality and problem solving. And like I said, like the King of Wands is a problem solver, because he's like keeping his eye on the prize, and then he's like doing what he can to sort of solve this thing. But this feels like it's the universe that solves this thing. And it's almost like the universe saying, don't get attached to the outcome of what unfolds here. Yes, you can have a vision of what you want to experience. Let's say if you want to experience stability, if you want to experience a new opportunity around love, or if you want to experience a project here that you have an understanding, it's like, then let spirit sort of unfold this thing, because there could be a lot of different experiences once we become this Page of Wands, rather than a King of Wands forcing our way or will somehow, some way to make it something. We might miss out on a lot of other opportunity. There seems to be a lot of exert energy here that's like going out the window. I don't know if you're like retrying something over and over and over, like persistently. You know, we could feel emotionally drained. It's like I keep investing over and over and over, and it's not going anywhere. It's not building something. It's falling on deaf ears, or it's not like producing anything here. And so what's shifting here is like going from this constant leak of energy, emotional drainage, investment, to this energy, which is not exerting any effort or energy at all. And finding peace in that. And then watching as the universe unfolds and the dreams sort of showing up and saying, okay, what do you choose in a Page of Wands energy? Like, what do you want to explore? What sort of door do you want to go through and explore here? But you don't have to pursue it. You don't have to make it a reality. That's the thing. And I feel like maybe you felt really like, I don't know, like I can't move beyond this investment here, and I've been butting my head up against the wall, feeling very stuck. Okay, so it doesn't fully make sense. Some of it is clear, and maybe you resonate with the energy here, but why is this a big major change? Like, you're going to get a whole lot of opportunity. You're going to align with star energy, which is great, because that means getting our wish. But I feel your energy shifts completely. So maybe your wish changes, or I don't know, like maybe how to get that wish changes. And why are we seeing this Page of Wands and this King of Wands? Let's see, Spirit, clear and concise message. Can we clarify what I'm seeing here? What are we channeling for pile 2 in regards to major life change that's going to happen, that's going to allow them to shift their life? So we see the 9 of Wands, protection, preparedness, and resilience. Okay. That's the not giving up energy. But it could be the energy of feeling very defensive or guarded, or like a need to prepare oneself. It could be very exhausting if we hold the 9 of Wands for a very long period of time. So maybe we're learning about surrender here. Let's see, Spirit, what is it about pile 2 here? Can we clarify the Knight of Swords, intellectual, determined, and motivated? It's in the sideways position. Clear and concise message for pile number 2. Another one in the sideways position. Now the King of Pentacles is in the sideways position. Prosperous, generous, successful. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Release. Let it go. So that's the death energy, Scorpio. Endings, transformation, freedom. The Phoenix. The end of defensiveness. Like I said, we're like fighting for something, proving something. It's like you don't need to prove anything. Let it go. Surrender. The rebirth here will open up to the 7 cups, which is a lot of options. Opening up the Wheel of Fortune, not reading reversals. Change of circumstance here. Luck, progress, change. Wow. Once we surrender and release, things shift, things change, things open up. Okay, awakening. Yeah, change of perspective. That's the Hangman energy. Okay, it says pause, perspective, and selflessness. Strength, Leo, Pisces. And it says courage, compassion, and perseverance. And then why is this wheel here? Why is the wheel here? What is this? Oh my goodness, you guys. King of Cups. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. And then we see the Emperor here. Another 4. Organization, leadership, structure. Divine masculine energy. We have 2 kings and an emperor. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. And then we have the 2 of Cups. And under that, we have the Ace of Pentacles, which came out for pile 1. And then 9 swords under that. Okay. Give me a moment to channel what this is. I'm going to get my drink. Okay. Pile number 2. Although this doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, I think it's going to make a whole lot of sense to who this is supposed to make sense to, because it's very clear what the messaging is. I feel like this is a process you're learning of surrender. Okay, we have here surrender, surrender, surrender. What the fuck does surrender even mean here? I feel like when we are really tied to an understanding of doership, like I am going to create, and how I create has been one way of creation that has worked. And so we keep doing that, in which works, of course. Okay, but it doesn't work anymore because that is one way of creating with fire. Okay, of course, fire is the creation of life, so it makes sense here. But there's another way to create, and that is co-creating with spirit. And I feel like there is a graduation from lower state consciousness, okay, an understanding of the I am. And I hope I haven't lost you here, because I feel like whoever this is meant for will sort of feel what I'm saying, even though it might not become very clear here. There's a graduation from the I am the doer, I am the person having success, I am this identity, I'm the one that's creating, to I can surrender to spirit and still co-create and manifest. And spirit is showing you another way of manifestation. I know we don't see the magician here, but really it's about surrendering that fire energy that drives us from the solar plexus energy of the King of Wands to seeing from a greater perspective. Doesn't mean I can never create with fire again, but this in which we're experiencing is one in which we surrender to the universe, to understand the power that's greater than us, greater than the ego. And that the more we clutch, the more we hang on, the more we sort of force our way, the less likely this thing can become the thing we want. I feel like you really want the thing. I don't know what it is. For some of you guys, could be a relationship, but it's alignment with your heart's calling here. And it's like, I want it. And so the King of Wands will go after what he wants, come hell or high water, to succeed. But the King of Wands has a very strong ego. And so there is an opportunity here for you. And I feel like we go through an anxious energy when we realize that the King of Wands energy cannot force his will his way to align with something that feels very much like what we need, what we want, our alignment here. Creating the future we really desire, because I feel like where we had pulled power from in the past, I feel like you're a very strong, independent manifester. I want something, I do it. I see something, I move towards it. I can take the power in my own hands to create my future, which sounds good. And we are creators of our future, but the way we create our future is very different. And it doesn't have to be through a doing or through a fire. It could be through a surrender and allowing the universe to create and allow opportunity to come forward in order for us to then align with that in which we want. The universe isn't taking away your dream or your vision, but the universe is taking away the understanding we have that we are identified with the doer or the skill that we have to create, and that's the only way that creation is done here on earth. It's like, no. And so I feel like divine timing, divine will, working with the universe, awakening to spirit, seeing through the ego, seeing through the doing. And so there's something about the water intuition coming through very strong, because this is feeling almost like we're out of control, like we're surrendering. It's like, oh, I'm giving up to the universe. Now I'm powerless. Now it's all up in the air. Now it's all out of my control. It's like, yes, because when we go through letting go and surrendering, then that's when we show the universe true faith in the universe, aligning for us what's meant for us. We don't have to control things. We don't have to cling to outcome. Okay, because that comes from the ego when we're really attached to outcome, when we really have to force our way or will. It's really from a need for control, because we don't trust anyone else but ourselves to sort of get her done. And this is like, no, you're awakening to spirit and you're seeing beyond the control. And it takes great courage to surrender, to trust that things will unfold, especially something that means a lot to you, because I feel like there's a lot of anxiety about surrender, about control, about it aligning just perfect, me getting what I want, me aligning with that vision that I saw of a future that I could have. It's like, oh, I could go any which way. And now I'm like, I'm going to lose out, or I'm going to like fight to the end. I'm going to prove my strength. I'm going to, and it's like, no, that's not requiring this. So valid opportunity, a chance for you to align with what you want, but it's getting about it in a complete different way that creates stress. It creates anxiety. It creates defensiveness. It creates you potentially, now I say your ego wanting to fight, resist, challenge it, combat it, come at it. And the more we sort of come at it from that angle, the more we're sort of kept away from that in which we want, because this doesn't require a doing. Spirit already knows you're confident. Spirit already knows you have a way to lead and gain what you want and all of this. This is saying, can success come through a trust? Can success come through working with spirit to surrender, to let go of attached outcome or understandings, and really just let spirit take the wheel, that I don't need to control anything here, and that this new version of me that's being born as a result of this experience has been shifted forever. Okay, like it's shifted my perspective completely of myself and how the universe works and the creator and what I can manifest and how manifestation happens. I don't have to go or create in a way here that's all on me, or that's, it's like spirit can create. I can just sometimes like choose in that moment, but like sometimes just allow things to fall away and things will align and things will be equally as powerful here. So there's great awakenings to spirits, there's surrender, there's change of perspectives and how we see the universe functioning, our goals and our vision, how we engage with this thing. And I feel you're going to come out the other side a complete different person here. And I feel like even your ability to like use your fire is more pointed now, because it's like, I know when it's like requires me to be in my fire, and I know when it requires me to be in my water, trusting my intuition, sort of going with my heart's calling rather than this, like, I don't know, kind of outsmarting the universe or my situation or my circumstance that in the past made me feel more in control or made me feel like I'd have to like be on my own or independent from the outside world, calling the shots in a different way. It's like now I become part of my environment. I can work and flow with my environment like water, because water is very adaptable. Now it's pulling me into this quote here. Okay, so you see, a river cuts through the rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence. So there's a couple things that come through. First of all, the fire intuition, like I talk about, okay, that fire, that king of wands energy I first tapped into in this emperor, okay, could really understand itself as like the power to like cut through a rock, you know, in that way. But it's like this water can sort of work around, and in time, that obstacle or that challenge will sort of change. Okay, because water always hitting up against a rock changes the formation of the rock, but also it talks about persistence, which was that 8 of Pentacles. But I feel like what we're learning about isn't persistence with the fire. Look how strong I am. Look how much courage it takes. Look how much I'm committed to this thing that I can't drop it, that I'll continue fighting for it. It's like, no, it's like the persistence here is being persistent in that which feels uncomfortable. I don't know how to be in the surrender. I don't know how to be like this water. I just know what it's like to be in the fire. And I keep wanting to sort of go back to the fire way. It's like, no, be persistent in learning how to be like water. Like Bruce Lee said, okay, Bruce Lee, it was be like water, my friend. Okay, like we're able to really adapt and be able to get in that energy, even if it feels unfamiliar here, because I feel you're comfortable in your fire. And so it's like I have to see things completely from a different perspective that's more from the divine perspective, rather than saying, well, I am just like this and this is who I am. You know, King of Wands energy. It's like, no, then we've identified with the ego, because we're not. In this present moment, we're nothing except for the present moment unfolding. And it's like, how am I adapting to this present moment? Am I completely just in the pattern of fire? Or am I able to see this present moment and surrender and release that, in which I'm used to doing, in order to flow however the universe calls me to do? If it calls for fire, then it calls for fire. If it calls for water, then I can see the opportunity. And I feel this opportunity requires water. It requires heart consciousness. It requires not a doing, but a surrendering. It requires a release. It requires seeing through the ego. It requires a greater perspective from a higher state of consciousness that can see beyond one track mind or one way of doing, one way of succeeding, and then getting combative or sticking to that, thinking I need to double down in my energy of strength and independence. It's like, no. That's not necessarily, because the strength here comes from letting go of needing control. The freedom comes from allowing it to unfold, this opportunity. But we might feel a lot of stress and anxiety doing things in a way that feels like it's out of control, out of my hands. And it matters to me. This alignment matters. This relationship matters. This opportunity matters. This growth matters. And I want to make it a real thing here in the 3D. So I have to do something. It's like, no, there is spirit. There is divine will. There is trust in spirit. There's a transformation and learning about ourselves. And I feel like this is the thing we're healing from our lineage here. A family wound or pattern can be healed, because I feel like there could be like a family pattern in regards to you having to be strong or prove yourself or fight for your self-worth. It's like, you know, like good things happen, but you got to fight for them. You got to prove your self-worth. You have to reach for the star and do it yourself. It's like, I don't know that we trusted in spirit or power beyond ourselves, or like knew the power of surrender, or what was really freeing here, you know? And it could get very, very exhausting to sort of maintain that resilience of the fire on and on and on to try to force something here, when it's like, no, the true persistence would be in trying to allow things to flow, and this will change your situation. So what's going to change is, yes, your whole energy, but I feel like what it is that you want is going to open up here. It's going to shift. It's going to change. It's going to be able to flow here. And so this is partnership, commitment, and reconciliation. So I feel like you can align in the 3D with this opportunity, regardless of your stress and your anxiety, in letting go. And it's like your persistence in continuously trying to release, trying to transform, trying to really maintain the courage of strength to say, Spirit, I trust you. I'm awakening to Spirit. I'm trusting in divine timing. I'm letting things flow. I'm taking my hands off the wheel. I understand that you've got it. I don't need to intervene. I don't need to, create the structure myself, or like try to organize it, or try to do something here and then I'll be successful, use my intellect or something like this. Okay, so it feels very clear here to me what this is. So let's see, Spirit, for pile number 2, can we get some information for pile 2? What's going to help them then in this process of surrender? Clear and concise message for pile 2. What helps them go through this process of surrender here? Clear and concise message for pile 2. Major change in their world that's going to significantly change for them. So we have time. Revive. The trigger statement, I cannot stand myself. The true statement, I am aligned. Go within and allow everything that is not resonance to be purged so you can purged so you can come from your heart, your seat of power. So remember I said this fire energy, okay, now it's coming through because it's saying I cannot stand myself. I don't think a lot of you guys are sitting there thinking you can't. I feel like there is a reason why we feel we have to fight, prove ourselves. And when we got to do that, it's like if we really truly agreed with ourselves and we loved ourselves and we knew that we were in a position of power, we wouldn't have to prove anything. The only reason we would have to fight and prove and for others to buy it is like because we don't buy your own story. I got to prove, I got to convince, I got to do. It's like, no, you don't. And I feel like it's coming from this place of not standing in one's truth and saying that's enough. It's enough for me to stand and buy my own truth. I don't need a collective to buy my truth. I don't need another side to see my truth or value myself. I do myself. And this revive is giving me this phoenix. So I am aligned. It's just knowing I am aligned. And now I sit from my heart space, which is this water, in order for me to be in this present moment, to make decisions based on heart, not based on having to prove, convince, fight for, chase, explain. And it just allows something to shift here. I've surrendered. That's the true surrender. Understanding why we had to fight or prove. Understanding it, Like we may not necessarily have to say when it sort of happened that I created this pattern, because it could be beyond our knowing. It's just I have this pattern of having to prove myself, having to fight for what I want, having to be the one that's confident in my ability to make it happen. And it's like, no, just trust that you're already all that is, and that spirit can make things a lot easier for you if you just trust in the unfolding here and just sort of, be more like water again. All right. Copabia. Worthy. Trigger statement, I am ashamed. The true statement, I am cherished. There are connections to ancestral and childhood memories that are ready to be healed. Allow divine light to shine within. So again, I have to prove myself, and it could come from a deep wound here that we don't see, an unworthiness. We feel ashamed. Maybe we were told if we're not good enough, then we got to prove ourselves. We got to fight. It's like the silent fighter, energy. I have to keep fighting, have to keep proving, I have to be persistent in that sort of energy where it's like, no, you're already loved. Spirit already wants what's for you. You don't got to fight it. You don't got to prove it. I think you're healing this deep wound for sure. Okay. Ginger. Will, trigger statement, I am a victim. The true statement, I am powerful beyond measure. Yes, because now not only am I fire, I'm also water. And I also have the backing of spirit. Wow, beautiful. So you are strong and capable. With gratitude, optimism, and action, manifest the life you desire. So what is this? Optimism. This is the Page of Wands energy. I think the more, and will is this like the I feel like the will you have been using is from a King of Wands energy, and it's one tool in your tool belt. And if it doesn't work, it's like I'm a victim now, or I'm not succeeding, or I'm not successful, or I'm a failure, or I'm not good enough. And it's that sort of a black and white understanding. And then we believe that we're less than, or we believe that we're the ones that didn't succeed or got the outcome. Meanwhile, it's showing you that the will can come from this true understanding to be optimistic and take action with the heart and be like this Page of Wands that knows your own power and all the tools you can use in your belt. This understanding will allow you to be more capable to align with that in which you want. But I don't think you saw it because you never experienced it. You only experience if I go after it and I get it, then I succeed. If I don't, then I don't get it. And I'm unworthy or undeserving, or it just doesn't happen. Okay, no chasing. Eucalyptus, reset. It says the trigger statement, I am sick, but the true statement is, I am alive. It is time to embrace a new way of being, one filled with health and freedom to create a new reality. Exactly. Page of Wands, energy, feeling alive, feeling curious, creating a new way of seeing and being. The freedom here to create a new reality. It's completely shifting how you engage in the world when we trust in spirit and power outside of ourselves. When we break from that egoic understanding, it's liberating, it's freeing. It's like, I'm not carrying all the pressure to do the thing. It's just all on me to do the thing. It's like, no, it's a reset in how you see the universe. And wow, it's beautiful. Wild orange, good fortune. This came up for pile 1 in the exact same spot. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune. There is not enough. That's the trigger statement. But the true statement is, I attract abundance. Feel the joy you would have once you have reached your goals. Here and now, you will achieve your dreams fastest that way. So yes, the spirit wants you to achieve your goal. And I feel like your goal is of an alignment here, a partnership, something that reflects exactly what your value is. I feel your heart's connected to this thing. I feel it's a valid opportunity. And Spirit's saying the fastest way is to surrender. The fastest way is to attract this abundance. And we might be doing it in one trick pony, one way, using our will, using our fire, using our force, using our determination in a way here. It's like, no, the good fortune will come to you when you magnetize towards you what's for you. But it's really to heal this thing, this wound. That's why we're experiencing challenge, I feel here, so we could see the bigger picture. Okay, black spruce, restore. Well, reset and restore. The trigger statement, I am broken. The true statement, I am illuminated. As you release your attachment to the high and low, you find peace and balance. Honor the cycles of your body and energy now. So I feel like you have experienced disappointment because, like I said at the beginning, investing in a way that that might have good intention. I give to it, I invest in it, I put energy towards it, I'm committed, I'm consistent, whatever you've been doing, but these highs and lows is like I keep experiencing disappointment. I keep getting pulled down with what doesn't work, or like that it doesn't manifest, or the fruit isn't consistent, or that it's not right, or that it didn't show itself to me yet. And Spirit is saying this change of perspective will restore your understanding of yourself. Hence, your opportunity will shift and change. And I do feel there will be this whole new shift, this rising of this new energy about you. Okay, and so I feel like things will be completely illuminated, how you see things, how you see your environment, how you see your self-worth, how you utilize your own manifestation, how you attract abundance, how you get what you want, because I feel you want the star. And it's like, open the heart, connect from the heart, not from the egoic attached desire to attain something or fulfill something with that fire. It's great to have desire, but when it's come from the ego or the solar plexus, that's creating the suffering. That creates the disappointments. That is showing us that we're not just driven from solar plexus, that we are graduating to more of this heart-based consciousness to allow spirits to unfold and to learn how to surrender. Okay, pile number 2. This is your reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Pile number 3. You guys picked the rose quartz turtle. And we are looking at what major life changes are about to happen here for you that are going to significantly change your life. Okay, I've pulled the oracle cards. I've not looked at them. And then we will dive into the tarot as well and dive deeper into this energy. So this could be definitely energy around you. Okay, if it's not your energy, then apply it to person, place, or thing that's going on within your world. But if it doesn't apply, then go check out another pile. Okay, so we have the 4 of Swords. So 4 of Swords is all about healing. Could be reflecting, resting, gaining mental stability. Okay, could be like sleeping, resting, going on a retreat, pause. Wow, this is 4 sword energy. So 24 or the number 6 with pause. All right. I think this is a cockatoo, the bird. And we see water. And we see 3 people here. Okay. And then we have green Tara with supreme protection. You are protected. Cords are being cut. Move beyond limitation and trust. Okay. And then we have the weasel and pine with introspection. Wow, that's totally what this is about. Sitting and reflecting. Introspection. Number 9. Hermit energy, Virgo energy. Now, a weasel could definitely be symbolizing some form of deception. Sword of Truth is pointing down, which could also talk about an in denial or not seeing of a truth, maybe being deceived. Okay, supreme protection, though, whether we are being deceived or not. Let's see. We have the 2, the Akashic Library. So this is the High Priestess energy in this Akashic Tarot. Wow. Okay, High Priestess, this is destiny. This is as things have been written here. Knowledge. Occult knowledge. Okay, and then we have service 25 or the number 7. This is the heart chakra. Service. I'm getting more of this Virgo energy from this 9. Service. And some Sagittarius energy as well from this bow and arrow. Archer. And then we have oneness is the way. How can you show more compassion and acceptance towards those you don't understand? 42 or the number 6. She has a crown. Self-empowerment. Roses. Now we see red rose, which to me that's all about romance. Pink rose all about self-love. Yellow rose about friendship. Healing. Getting strong forgiveness here, you guys. Yeah. 2442. Mirrored numbers here. Okay, 6. 6 is about problem solving, compassion, harmony. Could be lovers, could be devil, depending on how we're seeing something here. All right. And then we have the Four of Wands. Four of Wands is the card of stability. Could be the card of coming together, celebrations, marriage, commitment, community, milestone, union. Okay, Four Wands. And then on the other side of this, we have the Five Wands. Five Wands is that of conflict. Okay, I'm going to channel this before I do the tarot and see what pulls through. You guys can definitely skip ahead here. Okay, pile number 3. This is a message that usually comes through here. Okay, and we're working through this, I feel, because this is big, okay? If it's not your message, then it's not your pile. I feel like the person who's going to sort of resonate with this message is finally seeing things differently in a way that's going to help bridge a gap between what they're experiencing with another. I feel that it could be quite challenging. Okay, I do feel it's with another person, but it could definitely be with us against some sort of thing that seems to be a thorn in our side. There seems to be a great message here in regards to how you're engaged is really key to whether this shift of energy is going to shift in your world. And obviously we're looking at what major life changes are happening. And I feel like the major life change happens within you, being able to engage differently in an experience you're having in which you sort of see through the illusion of the challenge itself. Because, and it's not saying you're not experiencing a challenge here, it's saying that like the way you're engaged in the challenge is one understanding that could perpetuate this disconnect. So if you're having a disagreement with someone, if someone's betrayed you, if you've experienced a letdown, it's really connecting to the truth that there is no person out there, no situation, no circumstance that can impact the core of who I am. It's untainted. But if I believe that I am the body or the one that's experiencing the experience itself, then I become the victim because I can't move beyond this understanding that I'm not just the victim here or the body or the one that's experiencing this thing, and that I'm at the mercy of how another is going to treat me. And so then I experiencing disappointment. I experience disappointment. I experience letdown. I experience challenge. I experience that. And I really go through it. And it feels very challenging and real. And I cannot experience beyond that. I cannot experience peace. I cannot experience, like peace, like harmony, seeing beyond this. So I feel like there is an insight you gain through a challenging experience of the truth. And what is this truth? This truth is that we are more than that in which we're just experiencing. We're more than that of the body. That first, in order for us to find harmony with other, we have to find harmony in ourselves, which means my relationship with myself. Do I love myself? Do I respect myself? Do I understand what I need for myself without putting it out there that someone else has to reflect it to me, my self-worth, or what they do is impacting my own ability to see myself clearly. And it taints my relationship with myself and how I perceive the universe, depending on what's going on. So if someone's treating me poorly, or if I'm dealing with a tough situation or a tough person, and then I carry it like that is the energy that is all about me, and I can't connect to a greater sense that is also happening, but I couldn't see it, I couldn't connect to it, which is what? Which is this where you really truly find your empowerment. I have the ability to forgive. I have the ability to see beyond this challenge as like a 3D victimization or conflict, and that's all it is. I can rise above this thing But I first have to connect to self-love, see that I'm worthy of more, see that this situation could be worthy of more, and foster this energy and give it life, because it's easy to keep giving life to that in which I've always done, which is see a black and white way of a conflict is against me, and either they're against me or not, and I'm projecting out there this understanding, and I keep experiencing the same disappointments. So I feel there's big healing, there's big reflection, there's a way that we always seen something that starts to change and shift, and you might still see it in that way, but the more you see it in that way, the more it's like challenging, the more conflict we experience with others. It's like, I don't want to experience conflict. I don't want to experience, but this is what I'm experiencing. This is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm believing. And then it takes really like either suffering or staying in that long enough, or just like finally like being humble enough to see beyond our own self, to say, I want to see the truth as it is. I know there's some truth that I'm not necessarily sitting with or seeing, that's beyond my understanding right now. That's beyond my ego. That's beyond my default way of thinking. And I'm being open to see it. I pray to see it. I want to see it. I need to see it, because what do I want? I want to heal this thing. I don't want conflict. Nobody does. But I want the empowerment here to see it, to sit in it, and to make different choices, and to be able to engage with that. And so I feel like it takes great trust to believe in spirit, to do something different, to connect with something differently. That might seem very scary, because it might feel like I'm going to expose myself to more threat. Or if I forgive, then that means I'm allowing, which is not necessarily true. Forgiveness is for your own self. Forgiveness is letting go and cutting the cord of that in which keeps us conflicted, that in which keeps us challenged, that in which keeps us in suffering. Forgiveness allows us the freedom, and we can only ever expect forgiveness from others and grace from the universe if we're able to give it. If we're not able to give it, then we're not able to get that in which we're seeking. And so we have to give forgiveness. We have to cut the cord that keeps us attached to that understanding, that heaviness and that conflict. But first we have to see beyond a greater way. And so I feel like there is this reflection, there is this point in which you can either choose to do the same thing, see things the same way, come from the devil aspect, which is the shadow, okay, whatever you want to call it, the ego, see things from the eyes of deception, or we can lean into this new way of sort of seeing things. I feel like a lot of you guys here, if this is your pile, of course, might have had a very hard time seeing the truth of your situation, because we'd have to see beyond something that seemed very real. With this weasel here, we tricked ourselves, like we all do, by believing the devil was real, or the creation of that shadow was really the driver of the conflict, and it was getting in the way of creating something that we wanted to build, you know, the harmony or the peace between us and something or someone. And it's like, what are we acting out of? What are we moving with? Like, are we moving with harmony? Are we moving with like, I don't know, like conflicted? Are we moving with like fear of being tricked? Are we moving with like hanging on to resentments? Are we, you know, are we actually moving forward saying, I am moving forward in truth. I'm wanting harmony here. And I feel that at the point in which we do this, then our world begins to shift. Our words are different. How we move is different. I feel like something is very karmic here with this Akashic library, and it's meant to show you behind the veil of your own understanding when it comes to the mirror you use to see yourself, without believing that that mirror is actually seeing other as a threat, as a challenge, as conflict, and then internalizing that thing, and then continuously sort of engaging with that mirror as though it's a real other entity out there threatening you. That's not true. It's saying that experience, that person, that disappointment, or that conflict is mirroring to you what's going on within yourself. And I think once you connect to finally seeing and understanding the truth of the universe, it's like, oh, my internal world has been reflected to me. Now I really connect to this core self, you know? It's like now I can be empowered to give myself that in which I need. Not to try to go seek it from other or force it or argue it or try to like rack my brain around how I can get that alignment. It's like I see myself in other. I allow myself to understand that there is nothing to butt up against. There's nothing to argue or prove or convince or fight for. There's just seeing the truth of what's going on here, and me and my own projections are one and the same. So I feel like there's a need to be more compassionate, obviously, with what's going on, but I feel like it stems from being more compassionate within self, giving love to self, sitting with what has happened, and taking our own look at ourselves from an honest perspective gives us the empowerment here. Because I feel like your situation requires you to say and do certain things that are more in line with compassion and more in line with real truth, not necessarily what you think is true right now. Because I think what you think is true right now is the upkeeper of the conflict. And I think what you see right now and what you experience right now is very real to you. But it's actually a distorted projection. And I think once you reflect to see what is true from the divine's perspective and what has been your own projections, fears, disappointments, conversations, whatever it is that's been generated from yourself, hasn't been from the true place of compassion and oneness. It's been from a place of fear. It's been from a place of defensiveness. It's been from a place of experiencing something that we didn't like. And so we're trying to protect ourselves. We're trying to do something here. And it's like, we don't need to do it. We just need to reflect to see the truth. And then we move different. And it's knowing like you're already protected here. And this has a profound shift in your life. So you might be really like being called to see this, and it could be taking some time. This could take a lot of time, you know? So maybe we feel like this is taking me so much time to heal, or I'm being removed from, I don't know, wherever you want to go. Like maybe you want to get going, or maybe you have an idea of where you're supposed to be, or how things should start flowing, or when things will come together. It's like, no, it's not just going to happen. You're the one who's going to have to be in the right energy, right? Aligned energy for this thing to shift. And Spirit's like, stay there until you see it. And so we could just be like doubling down in our energy for some time, you know? And then getting frustrated because things don't change, because we still don't see the illusion. It's like, no, Spirit's saying, stay there until you see the truth, that the truth is sitting within you, that there needs to be a real revelation within you of your own accountability, your own ability to see the connectedness, that you are that in which you're saying is separate from you, that you are a part of that in which you're saying is the creator of your challenge. This other person, this situation is the challenge, is the obstacle, is the culprit, is the annoying thing, is this like, no, that thing is you. And then when you connect to that and see exactly what that means, and so we have to put our like spiritual lens on here, then we move differently. Confidence changes. self-love changes, grace, forgiveness, the conflict we had, the inner turmoil we felt betrayed, we felt slighted, we felt disappointed. And so we'd say things that would, you know, that felt very truthful, but they were like from the place of the wound, from the place of the experience. But what we were experiencing was not really seeing the truth. So I feel like you finally see the truth, that you're connected to that in which you think is giving you the conflict right now. And I feel for a lot of you guys, it could definitely be in a relationship here, okay? So let's see. Spirit, clear and concise message for pile number 3 regarding what major changes in their life is going to significantly impact their world. 8 of Swords. So your own mental prison here, self-doubt, confusion, free will. So we don't necessarily understand yet when we feel really trapped by our own thoughts, our own minds. And it's like there's more outside of the mind. But when we are really trapped in the mind, we can't see anything outside of that. So our thoughts seem real. The beliefs seem real. The stories we create about why someone did something or why they said something is very real. It really happened. It's like, yes, it's not saying it didn't happen. It's saying your understanding or your belief of what that means. And really connecting behind the veil to see that the mirror is happening, that there's something going on inside of self that's going to free you from this 8 swords. So I feel there's a lot of challenge that's self-induced here without really realizing. No one's going to choose to be self-induced and challenge, of course. So conditioning, programming, understandings we have. This is the thing that's going to be shifted and changed. Okay, I'm not reading any reversals, by the way. 10 of Swords. An end to that. Endings, recovery, freedom. Exactly. Freedom from this 10 swords. But it might be very, very painful once we see the truth. I created my own suffering. My beliefs were the challenge. Yes. Yes, 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 and yes. I feel there's something very destined here again with the Akashic Library and this divine timing thing or whatever, this hourglass of time. So we're going to see in time all of these swords, all of these thoughts, all of these ideas and understandings we had were actually the problem, not the other person, not the situation, not the circumstance. And it's not even necessarily the problem, but the creation of the stuckness, the belief that was challenging. The misalignment came from me. I now have the power, and this should be very empowering. Shouldn't make us angry. It's like, yay, if I was the creator of this stagnation, this challenge, then it makes me very happy to know that I'm also able to undo this. It's not in the hands of another to change or the hands of another to do anything here. It's up to me to put an end to this thought. Yay, I have the power. I have the ability. Thank God I can see it now, you know, this type of an energy, because it's like now there's freedom. Now there's putting an end to disappointing thought that was untrue. Chariot, movement, balance, willpower, victory, and recognition. So shadow integration, which means the devilly thoughts, the chains, whatever, I'm able to move forward successfully here. Cancer energy. The world. Put that behind me. Okay, closure, endings, accomplishment, celebration, completion. The 4 wands is also celebration. So I feel like the big celebration here is aligning with truth, is being guided to close out a major cycle here. Okay, why is this 10 of swords here? The Ace of Wands. Opportunity, creativity, action. That's a new beginning. And then the 2 of Cups. Harmonizing with a person, aligning your heart with your environment here in a way that reflects back to you harmony rather than discord, because we had 5 wands. And this is what we're moving towards. Okay, this could be a relationship. This could be, again, like our heart calls out to a mirror that reflects back to me the same self-worth and value and love. A new beginning here. Success once we close this out. Yes, look at this Page of Wands and then the Hermit. Hermit is Virgo energy, which I was feeling from this service and this 9. Introspection, which is this period of reflecting, knowing oneself. Page of Cups. Sensitive, open-hearted, intuitive. This is also the card of forgiveness, grace, and compassion. So Pile number 3, your message is so clear, okay? Right now, all of the grief that you're holding is all in your hands. I don't think you realize how much power you actually have here because of your understanding and your relationship with your mind. Your mind is creating all sorts of narratives about what's happening in your world and projecting it, and the people and discord and conflict, and all of that is untrue. Once you sit and see, and this could be whatever, a period of meditation, this could be finally the aha moments, this could be I have to remove myself, or I am in a period where I'm pushed out of whatever, that experience, that relationship, that circumstance that was creating all sorts of grief. So you could be in a period of separation from that person. You could be taking a break from that environment. Whatever it is, this self-discovery comes. And this self-discovery can only come through you. Once you see the aha moment, you see beyond the limitation here, that you're the one who can extend forgiveness. You're the one who can extend this open-hearted acceptance of something because it comes from a different place of understanding. Then you've closed out successfully an unhealthy way of engaging with other and universe from this sort of you versus me, this sort of painful place, holding on to I don't know, this energy that doesn't necessarily work. It's not harmonized. It doesn't allow there to be a flow. It's from a place of like a black and white thinking, threatened by external people and that sort of a thing. You really integrate this belief and this understanding. Now's the time. Okay, and I feel like this allows you to have a new beginning in love, a new beginning in harmony, a new beginning aligning yourself with the other side, now mirroring to you harmony rather than conflict, rather than it being an upheaval, rather than it being a challenge, a struggle. It's against me. It doesn't see my point of view. I have to protect myself. I have to defend myself. And then it's arguments, and it's like us pushing up against resistance. We upkeep that in which we're resisting. It's like if a tree wants to fall, okay, this tree will just sort of fall. Okay, but if we see this tree and it's about to fall and we're standing there trying to hold it up and resist, it's like it can't fall. And it's like the more we resist, the more this tree is pushing up against us. And it's this like battle here. But the minute we let the tree fall, well, there's the freedom here. We're no longer resisting something. Okay, what you resist persists. Okay, what you fight up against, you strengthen this thing, this resistance, this conflict, this challenge. It's like, no, now I'm just going to come out of this whole thing, let it fall. Okay, fall as in I'm not resisting it. I'm not fighting to prove. I'm not challenged. I'm not angry. I'm not resentful. I'm not hanging on to whatever stories of the mind. I'm coming from the heart because I've reflected here with what's truer, what's greater. The heart is truer. And look at this feather, and it came through in all 3 piles. This feather is glowing here, okay? And I was tempted to pull the feather for this reading. Feathers to me say you're on the right track. The ancestors come through, but they're giving you the green light, okay? This could be your spirit team, spirit guides, spirit coming through saying you're on the right path. Keep going. So I feel like you'll know it feels more aligned to be in heart. It feels more like that is the path. It feels congruent. It doesn't feel like it's challenging or you're fighting against someone or yourself or like disappointment or tricked or resentful. It's like, no, this feels good. Sitting in the heart feels good. Acknowledging this part feels good. It doesn't feel limiting. It doesn't feel challenged. It doesn't feel. And so it feels like finally I found a way to connect to this beautiful place of the heart, this innocence of the heart, this forgiveness, to extend compassion and grace. And then I have desire to align myself, and that is more appealing to be around and reflect back to me the state of harmony. But if I'm conflicted, if I'm challenged, it's like all I keep mirroring back to me is other conflicted, challenging situations. This is much more beautiful, okay? And I feel this allows your situation or yourself to move forward beautifully with success here in a more balanced way. Because we see your situation from a more balanced perspective rather than it's a challenge, it's combating me, it's deceiving me, it's tricking me, it's them against me, it's defensive, I'm self-doubt. I have a lot of doubt here about my environment, about what's going on here, which means it's really self-doubt, which really is a self-doubt that's going on inside of ourselves. Now we have to see it. Anything out there is going on within us in a way that is tricky to see, because you might say, I don't self-doubt me. I just don't trust those people. It's like, yeah, but if we're so doubtful of the people, there's self-doubt going on inside. So there's a truth we have to sit with. And I think we're not seeing it or understanding it. You think, I trust myself. I am trustworthy. I am, I don't know, love, compassion, and forgiving. Meanwhile, it's like, but are we extending it? And we're seeing the other as doing something. But everything we see in other is happening within us. So I feel like there's a seeing and an understanding that opens this door to harmony. And it's like, do we want to be right or do we want to be happy? Because we could be right here, right? Think that we're right and live like this and be right and keep mirroring this thing and say, see, I'm right, see, I'm right, see, I'm right. Disappointment, deception, arguments. See, I'm right. And it's like, yeah, you will be, because that's what you're perpetuating. That's what you're seeing. And then when we shift the energy and we really connect with a greater truth, which feels very uncomfortable, because we might have to say, maybe I was not right. Maybe I have to extend forgiveness. Maybe I have to be humble. Maybe I got to let go of this anger. Maybe I got to see beyond this thought. It makes me very uncomfortable because I always thought I was right. And it's like, well, guess what? You're protected as you let go of that understanding. This is where the empowerment comes. This is the only way to shift your situation to a more healthy, balanced way. This is the only way for you to get a 2 cups. Can't get a 2 cups when I'm in an 8 swords. I can't get 2 cups when I'm conflicted internally, when I'm creating all sorts of energy here. But that doesn't allow there to be a flow and a balance. But I have to be this shift. I can't wait for it to change out there. I have to come to terms with something, feel empowered to do this, and then make the change. And I make the change to do this. And then the outside world starts to reflect this. People start to align to it differently. They're not argumentative. They're not people who I don't trust. And I feel the mirroring is very strong here with the 42 and the 24. Like I said, we have 42, 24. Your environment is going to mirror to you your energy that you're outputting. Now play that back. If you really understood this, you would get it and know to shift right away. The outside environment, people, places, things are mirroring your internal world. Wow. What power, what empowerment here to know that I have the power to shift how I see things. I could fall back into the old thought process, or I could really sort of support this new way of thinking so I can shift the energy. That's within my power. And I think this is what you do. Okay, I don't know what sort of wake up you have here, but maybe it's like being on the outs, like feeling like alone, or feeling disappointed, or feeling like I missed out, or feeling like it's not happening for me. It's like, no, and it won't unless we conclude this sort of way of thinking that really like opens our hands to spirit, saying, I don't know spirit, but I know what I have been doing has been keeping me feeling conflicted because of people around me, experiences that are going on are unpleasant. Okay, so for pile number 3, can we get some guidance and some advice for pile 3 in regards to this major life change that's about to shift their world? How does this come about? What do they need to do? Clear and concise message. One more. Pile number 3, clear and concise message. 2 more. Okay, so we have focus, empowered. Trigger statement, I don't want to be here. True statement, I am exactly where I need to be. Yes. Akashic record. You're ready to allow the energy from the divine and Mother Earth to fuel you as you fulfill your potential here. So I feel like you're empowered to make the change. It's not going to come from external. Someone's not going to see the light. You are going to see the light. You're going to feel empowered. You're going to be focused to shift things here. Okay, for yourself. So coriander, honoring self. Beautiful. Trigger statement. This is the way it has always been done. Yeah, so I've always done this and always got the same results. Okay, but true statement, I create my way. You're ready to fulfill your desires by thinking outside the box. The path less traveled may be more fulfilling. So I'm going to do things differently here. You know, the ego hates this because it wanted to be right. It wanted the other to be the bad guy. It wanted to be right. But then, okay, it's right and it's unhappy. It's right and it's misaligned. It's right and it experiences conflict. It's right and it carries resentment and anger that the universe slighted me. This person deceived me. This thing was unhappy. It's like, no, honor yourself and know that you create your way. So we have to shift how we think, how we've always done things and how we've always thought that there is another way. And this is just as true, not more true, because we're not limited. Okay, Cypress. Resilience. Trigger statement, I need to control. The true statement, I surrender. Allow yourself to relax with the currents of life. These changes will take you to an even closer to where you are meant to be. So relax. Here's the Four Swords. Moving closer to where you want to go. I need to control. So I feel like the way you control the turmoil in your world right now is creating resistance, and it is creating, like, you're doing it to have control. Okay, because if we feel like we surrender, then it's like, whoa, then I'm going to be deceived, and I'm going to be at the mercy of all this other stuff. It's like, no, surrendering to spirit, not to be deceived, surrendering to a greater power. Surrender so that you can align with that which is true and not like resist and fight and butt up against that tree that I was talking about. Okay, respiratory with breath. Trigger statement, I can't breathe. The true statement, I open up to all possibility. You are ready to let go of the suffering so you can take in new possibilities. Release so you can receive. Yes. So I'm going to release that in which I think is right. That's creating all sorts of suffering, making me so challenged, feeling very torn and let down and disappointed, and there's people coming at me, or arguments, or other people just don't get it, or they're the ones betraying, not me. I'm in the right, or I'm doing everything I can. It's like, no, that's not how it's going. So open up to the possibility that you too could be challenged. You too could be creating this. You too could be holding on to beliefs here that are not conducive to a harmony, to a movement here. But first we need to see it, okay? Because this breath, I feel like, is taking a pause and then allowing spirit to show us the truth of ourselves. And when you do this, you will see that forgiveness lives here, that the heart wants to align with that which is better. It doesn't want to keep up this tree by proving its point or trying to fight something and prove itself, or like, I don't know, like just allowing something here. That's the true surrender here, and saying you are protected, but we might really fear, like, if I surrender, that means I'm accepting the conflict to continue. It's like, no, you're saying I have to extend forgiveness in order for forgiveness to be extended to me. I have to sit in my heart in order for me to see out there more heart space living. If I sit in my mind creating conflict, then that's what I experience. I'm going to experience that in which I hold. Okay, so we have celery seed with cleanse. Trigger statement, there is no answer. The true statement, I am the answer. The aligned outcome for you is simple, but not necessarily easy. Commit your goals to heart each day and know every single action will take you closer to them. I feel like this is a persistent, able ability for you to cleanse that in which created the suffering, the belief, because I feel there's many times it's going to come over the old belief. That's like, no, we got to cleanse this moment, this thought that came through. That's the old way of thinking. I'm going to cleanse it. I'm going to release it. I'm going to see through the illusion. I'm going to let it go. I'm not going to fight to keep it alive. I'm not going to justify it, because that will create the no answer here, like the no answer solution. And what Spirit is saying is the solution and the answer is on the other side of doing things different, thinking different, even though it's not easy, because it's uncomfortable to think differently and do this, because now it's like, I may be exposed to more pain. It's like, no, we're doing it different to get a different outcome. We're creating a new way. Okay, fennel, discern. Trigger statement, it is not my fault. The true statement, I take full responsibility. Exactly. Shift into your body and listen, release the emotions you have been storing, and move forward. So we hold on to pointing, projecting. Out there is creating the challenge. It's not my fault. This thing that's happening here has nothing to do with me in a way here that has everything to do with you. Sure, maybe you weren't the one that did the action or the one that said the thing, but it's saying the reason this originated was originating from within you. And when we take full responsibility, which the ego hates, by the way, because it wants to be right, to say, I'm shifting this thing. This power is within me. I take full responsibility. I can create a difference here. I create my own way. This is exactly what needed to happen to show me that maybe I'm not heart-centered, to show me maybe I do bear grudges, to show me maybe I do have a hard time releasing certain things or moving beyond certain things or allowing myself to heal and accept people. Accept people. Why do I need to accept people? Not accept people hurting me, because there's discernment. But if I can't accept people the way that they are, how can I expect anyone to accept me the way I am? The mirror. What I want from others, I must give in return. If I am closed, expect to live a closed experience. If I am defensive, expect to live a defensive experience. If I'm restricted and limited and finger pointing, expect to live that coming back at me. And so I feel like there is this true accountability. If I want to be harmonious, if I want to experience love, if I want to experience alignment, if I want to experience less conflict, then I have to output that in which I can expect to get it first. All right. So Maluka, evolution, trigger statement. Things will never change. The true statement, I attract only what is for my highest good. The imbalances and relationships that have been keeping you down are no longer needed. You are ready to transform. So the transformation happens within you. The disappointment in relationship shifts. The evolution changes on the other side of the shift. When we accept accountability, responsibility, we're living from the highest good of how we can be. And then good things unfold. But we could remain little. We could remain small there, with the same mind thought over and over. But I think what this big change is that we finally see the illusion that's been keeping challenge in your world. Specifically, I feel when it comes to relationships, relationships that have been disappointing, challenging, making you feel all sorts of ways. And it's like powerless. It's like, no, I'm empowered now to change how this goes. I don't need to control. What I need to do is surrender. It's the opposite. By surrendering, this connection changes, connections change, my engagement changes. By forgiving and acceptance, I'm showing discernment because I'm accepting what is rather than trying to fight what is. This shows I'm open-hearted, I'm sensitive to that, which is the truth, and I'm aligned with that, which is a greater truth. This is how this is going to evolve. You're honoring yourself. You feel more empowered by doing this. Okay? Because when we need to control, we feel less empowered. Because it's like, I need the control because I'm powerless here. So I must upkeep this. It's very draining. It's like, no, I know I have the power to allow, to surrender. And now I feel empowered. Now I'm honoring this truth. Okay, pile number 3. This is your reading. I hope this helped you. This seems like a big change in the way we engage in relationship and the way we harmonize and manifest what we want from a different vibration that isn't from this limiting sort of a victim understanding or a limited exposing ourselves to that in which doesn't feel good over and over and over, and then seeing it happening over and over and over again, and then supporting it. And then that's the reality we keep experiencing. But this big change is like, wow, like I'm free to shift the energy. I can manifest different. I could see it different. It's very empowering and it's freeing me. And then we experience the manifestation of alignment here, which feels beautiful. And I think it motivates you to do more of this sort of understanding rather than the old way. Old ways going away. Okay, so if you do have a period of pause and reflection, I think you're utilizing this to see the great truth of yourself. All right, pile number 3, this is your reading. I hope this helped you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Pile number 4, welcome to your reading. You guys pick this turtle right here. And we're looking at what major life changes are about to take place that are going to significantly change your world. So we have pre-shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at these. This could be energy around you, could belong to you, person, place, or thing. Okay, apply it accordingly. If it doesn't resonate, it's not your pile, it's for someone else. Go check out another pile. So let's take a look. We have 31. Everyone is on their own journey. How can you focus more on your own path? 31 and 4. Beautiful white dress. We have the 4 of Cups. So 4 of Cups could be where we're feeling bored or missed opportunity, rejected, disappointed. Okay, like feeling just dejected or like discouraged. And she's keeping her head just above water here. Here she's in water, submersed. Here she's like trying to breathe above the water. And be surrendered into something, maybe allowing ourselves to feel something here. Okay, patterns 26 or the number 8. So this tree energy talks about stability. We have 4, which is all about stability. You see the mask above her. The mask could talk about the egoic self or the mask we wear. Patterns could definitely talk about the devil energy because it could be behavioral patterns that sort of get in the way. Okay, let's keep going. We have the errata with soul flame. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Experience relationship harmony and healing. Wow, there she's exploring the water inside herself. Feels very cosmic. Rediscover a lost part of yourself. Look at her in white. White is the pure self. Beneath the mask, the egoic mask we wear, there's harmony and healing beneath this disappointment. And to keep her head above water here. All right. We have the salamander and the black pepper with inspiration. So this is 17, which is star energy. Aquarius energy here. Inspiration. The lizard talks about the dream space, our wishes, fantasies, dreams, intuition. The salamander is fire energy, which is about transmutation. I feel like we're transmuting some sort of disappointment here. Yes. Okay. Soul flame even. The 8 of keys, the master artisan. Now, I do believe this is 8 pentacles in the Akashic Tarot. So 8 pentacles is our ability to have the skill required, but I was getting alchemy here. So it could be the consistent practice of alchemy or transmutation. But it has inspiration. Master of alchemy here. Master of harmonizing something or healing some sort of pattern. Everyone is on their own journey. How can you focus more on your own path? Be committed, consistent, dedicated. Have a practice here. Okay, and then we have 15, positive energy. This is the 3rd chakra with the solar plexus. So devil energy with the 15. Positive energy. So that's the opposite of patterns that could be with this devil, which I was feeling. I mean, a pattern doesn't necessarily have to be unhealthy, but usually when we're in patterns, with this mask here, it's like the inauthentic self, or again, this solar plexus energy could be the identity that we wear, that we believe is us, which creates this pattern. But that would be the shadow. Okay, that would be the attachment to that identity, and then the egoic self or that solar plexus energy keeps it sort of alive. But I feel there's a transmutation here of energy. Look at all the horses. Chariot energy. Yeah, horses, empowerment, freedom, independence. Then we have the 9 of pentacles. Yes, freedom, independence, just as I said it. 9 coins and the 10 of coins. So 9 is all about the self. The 10 is about legacy, family, communities, building with other here. Victory to the suffragettes. So these were like the women who couldn't vote in the past. and now they're able to vote. And then here we have a person of color here also being able to vote, something about a minority. 9 Pentacles. Okay, that's the card of independence, having the resources, the confidence. Let me tap into, 8 to 9 Pentacle. Interesting. Into this energy before we use the tarot. Okay, pile 4. I feel like there's a major shift that happens here that's going to take place. It's going to completely change your world. Okay, because this is all about what changes are happening in your life that are going to be quite significant to how your life unfolds. Up until now, I feel like there has been your energy maybe directed towards, for all of you guys, different, but it hasn't been on yourself. So maybe you've been in situations where you've had to take care of other, maybe a family member, maybe you've just been, this is a pattern, like putting yourself sort of last, or not knowing the difference between the people in our world and engaging with that world as though it's us and it's our world, and really a sense of self. So we could have been really identified or enmeshed, with the family member or relationship or community or like other people's well-beings, or like there's some sort of identity that's falling away within yourself. Okay. And I feel like when we're attached to an understanding of how something has to be, or how we have to be, or who we are, because that's how we've been or how we've maintained some form of a lifestyle or pattern or understanding, we can keep doing that until we are experiencing something that it no longer works. It no longer feels right, or it's time for us to see beyond that. I feel like now's the time, and this time allows you to get more intimate with yourself. I feel like there's a truth about you that's being explored further and deeper. And we could really think we know ourselves, but what we know is that masked version or that identity. It's like, I'm the giver, or I'm the person who's servicing other, or I'm the person who heals other, or I'm the person who does this or does that. And we could really believe that's who we are, because that's who we've always sort of enacted as. This version of you is slipping away, slipping away, slipping away, because I feel like it is still more towards manifesting or creating worlds regarding others, or involving others, I should say. So I feel like you could be a healer for sure. You can be somebody here who really, I don't know, like understands something about, I was going to say like relationships, or like dynamics with people, or really understand unspoken energies and like how you might perceive other people or engage in situations that maybe other people might have a hard time doing. So this is definitely a gift. Okay, for sure. But I feel like your gift is being taken to another level here. And because I feel like there could be a downside to having this energy that you've experienced. And the downside could be putting yourself sort of in the back seat, or just like not allowing yourself to really plunge into the depths of your truth and your true nature. And I mean all of yourself, not just picking out bits and pieces that are acceptable to society, or that are going to get along in this relationship, or that are going to be celebrated in this workplace, or that are going to be liked by these certain groups of people. And then the rest, I just don't allow online, or I've never connected to it, because we are all things, of course. And I feel like when you can plunge into the all things you are, other things starts to be revealed to you. And I feel like there's true mastery here of self, an empowerment of self, a confidence of self, and then that energy transforms to an environment that supports you, so that you can create something that's very aligned to you and your truth. And I feel like from these eyes, then it's like we get to see something that inspires us to move differently, the courage to move differently, and also the energy to know that we can have success in certain areas that maybe would have never been reviewed or considered in the past, because we're sort of continuing the same way, down the same path, in the same format, which doesn't necessarily mean that it was bad, but it could have been very stagnant. It could have been a place where we just felt like that's where we were rooted. But what Spirit is showing here is it could be a complacent energy. It could be a place where, yes, maybe there was some form of a security, but there's more. There's like beautiful more energy here. And it's like, I don't think you were maybe necessarily asking for more, but it feels like more comes in a way of being shown to you. So I feel like for this pile, like it's definitely my pile that's like really in tune with Spirit here. Might be getting a lot of signs, a lot of synchronicities, a lot of dreams, a lot of numbers, a lot of like being directed. Okay. And I said for all the piles, and it's coming through again, although I don't see the feather yet in any of these. And the others, there was always a card with sort of a feather in it. I was tempted to pull this feather, which I don't normally pull an object, but the feather is indicating being on the right path. And we're being given signs by our ancestors, by Spirit, that's like you're on the right path, your decisions are aligned, continue forward. Okay, but it's like it's a symbol, but I feel like it's saying you're going to be connected to the symbols that are like beyond maybe like what others might just see as like mundane or whatever. It's like, no, this symbol is really showing me the truth of where I need to go. So I feel you're really connected to symbolism, dream space, guidance from Spirit, whatever animal guides, ancestors, whatever you connect with here. Now, feather for me is ancestral guidance, so it could be your ancestor coming through. But I feel like for some of you guys, because it is very highly charged with healer energy, I feel like this is a gift you've been gifted by your ancestors, like your spiritual gifts. I don't know if some of you guys are seers, psychic, knowers. I don't know. You guys can astral project, travel. I feel like there's astral travel here. There's so much. I can go on and on and on about this energy that I'm feeling here. It's very beautiful. Okay. But I feel like what your experience has been like this 3D plane mostly. And so maybe we've been experiencing like a lack of fulfillment, trying to get along, trying to maintain, and then feeling like let down, disappointed. Will it get better? Am I missing out on maybe more here? Just making it by, feeling like everything is sort of in black and white around us, or like people are living a dream. And it's like I'm sort of blending in here with this, I don't know, with my environment, or like just trying to make it by, you know? And maybe feeling very sort of disappointed, or feeling like we've been pulled into other people's realities. And it could be just being pulled into 3D, but knowing we're not of 3D, like we're made of star stuff here, you know, like there's a real true knowing of a deeper truth that's very real for sure. But then there's the reality in which manifests in front of me, and it feels boring or plain or lacking. It feels like we can't bridge the two maybe. And this could have been the challenge. It's like, I know of this greater world. I know of like this deeper place. And there's like the me that sort of presents itself in a way. Okay. The identity of the 3D. And so I feel like this is saying, no, you're pulling this 5D truth into the 3D. Whatever has been mundane, I feel is about to shift here. And this is what's going to change your world, because I feel like there is no need to just sort of maintain your head above water. There's a plunging into great depths of truth here without maybe talking ourselves out of it, or saying it's not socially acceptable or going to be received well, or people who understand me might not get it, or might not support it, or might think that I'm, I don't know, left field, or that I'm, I don't know, you know, cuckoo or something like this. But I feel like this is totally healing a big, big, big part of yourself here that I think it allows you to have self-acceptance, to really align with the truth of who you are. And so then when you emerge, I feel like your direction changes. It's like, this is what I can build. This is what I want to build. This is how I'm going to get there. This is how I know to do this or do that or stick to this or do that with confidence. And then I feel your environment supports you because you align with the right people. You create an energy of support through your dedication and your commitment and through your skill, whatever it is for all of you guys different, but through your confidence of knowing because you've been shown the way or the answer. So I feel like everything sort of comes online. Your spirituality, the intuitive nudges or the divine guidance that you're getting, your 3D confidence, your ability to trust in what is being shown to you, even if it feels unworldly here or it's unfamiliar, and an ability to drop the mask or the identity or the 3D egoic version of you that might have felt like it was treading water or trying to fit in or trying to belong. And it's like, here is what I can create. I'm just seeing the initials BMP. I don't know if that means something for you guys. B is in Bob, M is in Mark, P is in Peter. Okay, BMP. Okay, well, anyway, thank you for that, BMP. I don't know what that meant. So I feel like there is like what I was getting here, because it's like these minorities, I guess, right? Like couldn't vote. And it's like a shift, but it's like collective, because I feel there's a collective impact to you being your authentic self. Of course, the more people who are living in their authenticity, who are more in line with their truth, it allows permission for others to sort of walk in their truth rather than live an egoic identity. Okay, so I feel it is collective and it could change profoundly here, but I also feel like it's this energy of maybe what we felt removed from, I don't know what it is, it like removed from this thing. It's like, now's the time to involve ourselves, and we confidently know we can have a change. I don't even know if removed is the right thing. An opportunity, like the time. I don't even know the words, you guys. This is really a very profound reading here, but 8 pentacles before the 9 pentacle. The skill, the talent, the consistency, and the dedication, the creation here, the practical way creates an environment here around me collectively, the support, the confidence, the resources I need, the position to be successful, gives me the confidence to drive forward, to have success here. This is a beautiful momentum. And look at all these horses. I feel like it's the collective. It's like you and the people around you. They're empowered by you. They're the positive energy of the momentum gives them strength, and strength upon strength of those people. And I don't know, like it feels so beautiful here. And it's like whatever could be utilized for the bad, okay, or misalignment, because solar plexus for me is the egoic mask or the identity, what could be fueled in that way, the hustle and bustle of the 3D, this sort of an energy, it gets transmuted, because there's a lot of transmutation with the salamander fire energy and this soul flame energy. Even this 8 of Pentacles was giving me the transmutation of the pattern of the ego. Okay, because the ego knows how to create like separation. It creates the separation of understanding in order to protect itself. It's like that other is a threat. If I don't see it as a threat, then if it does something, I'm exposed to a threat, and so I must project separation to protect myself, to stay sort of alert so that I don't get threatened. But it's like we know that understanding of separation that the ego creates is a pattern that impacts collective consciousness. that seeing other as separate and seeing myself as sort of me versus them. I got to climb the ladder and I have to sort of battle these people. And that sort of understanding is like keeping the consciousness low. And there's a transmutation here of this solar plexus identity understanding to this movement of coming together, all inclusive. Okay, now all inclusive meaning we're no longer sort of seeing ourselves as a separate then or a two-tiered system, the 3D and the 5D, the ones that can, the ones that can't. And there goes my email confirming that 3D, 5D. Spiritual truths versus like what we're experiencing in the 3D, you know, and those are two separate worlds. It's like bridging that gap, opening that door, empowering people, seeing beyond the egoic, understanding our identities to utilize the solar plexus in a healthy, positive way. But I feel it's coming from a whole collective here. Wow. Okay, well, let's pull the tarot and see what we see, because this feels like you're shifting not only your energy, but to the collective, and see how paradoxical this is. Because when I started off, I was saying, and it still comes through, everyone is on their own journey. How can you focus more on your own? Because I feel like when we take the foot off of trying to, I don't know, like heal other or act in others' world, you know, and it could just be collectively, like I worked for someone else. I was like under the 3D illusion, like everyone else, the egoic identity, living that world. It's like, no, I'm plunging in completely about like my own, and this isn't a selfish energy so much as it is my own truth, because I'm connected to spirituality in a way that sees behind the veil. And when I align with my journey, my truth, my own path, it gives people permission to do the same. So other people can focus on their own authenticity and become a more healing light to the collective. So it feels like you're a great collective sort of presence here, from like focusing on your own journey. It allows the collective to shift into more healing for everyone. Wow. Yeah, and an inspiration. I feel like you are an inspiration to others as well. Like how you engage, how you maybe align with your authenticity, how you no longer wear the mask of ego or try to pretend to be something to fit in. And it's not even a pretend so much as it is we wear the mask of identity so we could fit in, belong, be understood, get along, create a world, you know, a world that can pay my bill or support me or enforce me or make me feel validated or valued. It's like, no, I can take the mask and still find success. I could find success in the authentic self. I could find power in the truth. Yeah, and not like maintain some sort of lower energy. Let's see. Spirit for pile number 4. But what is majorly shifting here in their world, in their life, that's going to have profound change in their life here? Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile 4. What is significantly changing in pile 4's world specifically that's going to create this shift for them? Thank you so much, pile 4, for being here. Spirit, please protect me and pile 4 as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good. I'm not reading any reversals in the piles today. Of course, I will channel energy. So 10 of Pentacles. Beautiful. 10 Pentacles is like the lottery win of the tarot. It's your legacy. It stands the test of time. So when you pass, it remains. It could be inheritance. It's like families. But look at the community here of people. The dog, loyalty, prosperity, security, tradition. And we see all these trees, which talk about security. Pentacle. We have 8, 9, 10, you guys. You guys are on the path of creating a legacy system here that's... Oh, look, guys. The feather. The feather, the feather, the feather. All of them have the feather that's glowing here. It's exactly what I said. Your ancestors are acknowledging your move in the right aligned direction. The success, and it's on this closed book. I think you still haven't seen maybe or understood something here that's being revealed to you that's behind the veil. It's like a gift that Spirit is showing you and you only. See how he's like holding this book close to him? Yeah. Wow. Okay. So 10 Pentacles. What's going to shift here and change for pile number 4? Clear and concise message here for pile 4. I feel this one. 9 of Swords. So it's kind of giving me this feeling like when treading water, keeping your head above water. Okay, but 9 of Swords is like anxiety, anticipation, projecting onto the future or past beliefs. So negativity, worry, sleeplessness. It's like, how am I going to get this done? I barely have my head above water. Like it's like, I'm also feeling like death by a million paper cuts here, like day in, day out, staying in an environment that might be misaligned, like making me feel bad about myself, or like I know a deeper truth. I know something more meaningful here. Some of you guys might be having a really hard time sleeping as well. I'm feeling super pressure in my head. Some of you guys might have experienced headaches, migraines. I think this is going away as well, okay? Like if you are carrying this energy, it could be an energy because the misalignment here in the 3D has been creating this sort of tension, okay? Because I'm not getting only thoughts. It's like migraines, headaches, not sleeping well. This has been coming through my last few readings here. So it might be someone really suffering with insomnia. Oh, and it could be like dreading, like, what's my future? Yeah, my email went out. Dreading, like, what am I building for the future here? Like, am I just going to die and like I just live someone else's story, you know? Or like woke up, go to work. Someone could be really dreading work. Like they feel chained to their work environment where it's like, but I want to do like my healing practice or what I'm called to do, but I'm sort of stuck here. It's like, no, you make this decision to align yourself with what you can do that doesn't make you feel like, I don't know, a victim to the 3D, rat race. It's very liberating here. It's like, I'm going to plunge in, I'm going to make this choice. And then others are like, wow, if pile 4 was able to align with their practice, because I feel like all of you guys have a beautiful practice here, and it does feel highly spiritual. It's like I don't have to wear the rat race mask or that identity mask, but there could be a lot of anxiety around this. Like, can I still pay my bill? Can I still create a future here that's prosperous? Or maybe we feel called by this tradition, like this pattern, like my ancestors, might have all had to like be somewhere in the 3D or do something for a living. And I felt called that I had to do or be this thing. And it's like, no, you don't. I think you get permission to step outside of this thing. Yeah, and it could be all the ancestors maybe said, like, I don't know if it's like the women do this and the man's role is that, or the minority does this, or because you come from a family of this, then that you can only do that. It's like you open the door, you're like a change maker here. Like pioneering this new thing that's really like opens the doors specifically where your ancestors might have kept the chains. It's like you break that understanding. Okay, yeah, you break that understanding. This is like a breakthrough here with the 8 of fire, 8 wands. Forward movement, speed, activity, multitasking, a breakthrough, communication, travel. Look at all this momentum moving forward here and all these wings. Divinely guided to move forward, breaking through the ceiling of something. Wow. Okay, why is this 10 of Pentacles here? The 9 of Pentacles. No, 9 of Fire, sorry. 8, 9. 9 of Fire. Protection, preparedness, resilience. This is the wounded warrior. I feel like there's a no giving up. There's a resistance here, but it's like in following that in which, I don't know, once you have your breakthrough, I feel there's a a resilience here that no longer is creating that energy in the 3D that maybe made you feel like it was creating a resistance for me. It wasn't allowing me to flow. It was keeping me sort of defensive or guarded, and it wasn't allowing me to build something here. Protection. You're very protected here in this endeavor that you're entering here. Ace of Swords, inspiration. Wow, look, inspiration, inspiration. Communication, adjustments. So it's like from going from all of these thoughts, all of these narratives to one truth, one clear truth of understanding, and making this adjustment to my thought process that allows me to align with truth, speak my truth, and pick up that sort of authenticity to align myself with it rather than stay here suffering. Okay, new beginning and truth. And then the Four of Pentacles. This came up for almost every pile, I believe. 44. Master number. Integrity. Integrity as a foundation. Treating the earth and home as a temple. Manifestation and leadership. Okay, frugalness, extravagance, and control. So Four Pentacle is saying you're in a more stable position than you realize. Okay, I feel like there's a breakthrough that happens from a place where you're currently sitting here that allows there to be momentum, allows there to be a breakthrough in movement, so you can manifest something different that's more aligned with authenticity and truth. Yeah, Chariot, success, movement again. Wow, movement, balance. Chariot's also about having control here. I feel like there is a control by spirit, but I feel like there's a, I don't necessarily know if control is so much the right word, but I feel like there's a manifestation that you can involve yourself, because I feel like there's this mastery of transmutation of energy, which came through in your card layout. Your ability to manage your energy, which is a form of like control, because if you're conscious, you can make different choices and decisions and steer yourself where you want to go. I feel like you're building some form of security and stability. And I feel like you're moving out of anything that might have kept you stuck or trapped. And I feel like it's all based on authenticity and truths and seeing clearly, and not sort of staying small or something like this, so that you could build a beautiful a world. But I feel like you're breaking out of 3D expectations of what you should build, what you should commit to, what a future should look like, what it could look like. You know, there's a lot of this shoulda, woulda, coulda, what I think in the past would have been successful, or what my family might have said, or what I hung on to as a social belief or an identity of how to get there and how to build. And there's a lot of anxiety around this thing. I might have been fighting for the wrong camp or in the wrong place or energetically. And it's like, no, I know the truth now. I can see clearly, and I'm moving forward. I'm moving beyond obstacle. I'm breaking free from this. I'm going to create my own stability here, and I'm going to succeed because I'm working with the universe, and I've integrated any sort of challenge that was a pattern, some form of, I don't know, more negative energy, or at least an energy which made me feel like I couldn't, or it was a collective understanding that there was no way forward. But I've transmuted this into success. Like, look at all this force energy, empowerment, freedom. And these look like unicorns too. Cancer energy, star, getting your wish, aligning your future and spirit, driving you on that path, inspiration, fulfillment, faith. Aquarius energy. Beautiful people, you're getting your wish, you're aligning, and you're moving there. I feel it's a beautiful energy, because I feel like it's your calling, it's your purpose. It really is. And it's like, I could see it now. And maybe in the past, when we were wearing the identity or had the mask of 3D expectation of how you had to build or who you had to be, what you had to be for others, how you had to maybe invest yourself for others or build for others, or like fight to prove or survive, or like be prepared in some way. It's like, I see clearly my purpose. I see clearly what is in truth, and I'm going to allow myself to move beyond whatever is holding me back here or creating this energy that's maybe felt blocked or felt stuck. And I'm going to work with spirits to have this movement. Recognition, victory, willpower, inspiration, fulfillment, and faith. Okay, I do feel for this group. I just want to sort of close out this tarot part with a little bit more, and then we'll get into your healing and clarity oracle. What is it that pile number 4 needs to know about this shift or this change exactly? Can we wrap up this reading with a clear understanding? Like, what exactly changes here for them to see this truth? Like, are you being shown like by a dream or some pull, some inner calling? The Empress. Wow, beautiful. Self-love, abundance, creation, action. Look at the baby, you guys. Now, in traditional tarot, the Empress is pregnant. Here, the baby is already born. Some of you guys might be hearing of a baby's birth or have a new child in your world that's really connected to your growth in some way, okay? But this could be like cultivating our inner child's dreams. And you're really, really guided, really heavily. Like, this angel is like really saying, like, I see you as part of my child. Like, and it could be by an ancestor here, you know? Like, really making sure that you're aligned with your birthright and your abundance. 7 of Swords. So it's like you will not live in a world where it's like misaligned or not truthful to your belongingness. See your birthright. See the truth, which is that Ace of Swords. See beyond this, I don't know, this lie of the 3D world or this illusion that the 3D world's been creating. Okay, King of Water, King of Cups, compassionate, understanding, trustworthy. And the 7 Swords is awareness, caution, and consequence. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, and then Taurus, Libra. We have the Queen of Swords. There's that Ace of Swords coming through again with truth and clarity. Brilliant, experienced, humorous. Why is this 7 Swords here for pile 4? What do they need to know about this major shift in their world that's being experienced by them that allows her to be changed? Page of Swords, more sword energy, truthful, analytical, outspoken, and then the Knight of Pentacles, organized, responsive, and supportive. And then the bottom of the deck is the Page of Cups, beautiful, and then the 9 of Wands again. Okay, pile 4. I feel like this major shift, I don't know if it's you really, really being tied to someone on the other side. I don't know if it's an ancestor, spirit, a greater power. It's been guiding you, and it's really seeing you as like their prodigy in some way, okay? Some of you guys might even have like a child that you're involved with, okay? Like a new birth. I don't know if it's your own child or someone around you with this child, but what I feel this birth represents in this creation, it's already done. It's already done because it's not something you're having to do. It's like you're at the time here where the truth is being seen and spoken by you in order to wake up some sort of illusion. And I do feel it's collective in regards to abundance and truth. It's pursuing one's own passions, following one's own heart. It's like living from the heart space of truth at the end of the day. So it's like we pursue our creative passions. We align with that which our heart calls for. We commit to that. We invest in that. We make it a reality in the 3D. We do this through our own trust and seeing the truth, not giving into the illusion of the 3D rat race or the egoic self or the understanding we might have that we have to be someone different in order to achieve some form of foundation or stability. So I feel like you're really inspiring people, and I feel like you give yourself permission to creatively explore and give birth to something that transforms the universe. It transforms your life. It gives birth to something very beautiful here. And it feels very genuine. It feels very, like I said, from the heart, compassionate, beautiful, intuitive. And you can sort of build upon this thing, and it's seen by others here as well. It's like this, I don't know, I feel like you're shedding the light of awareness on that and which is not true and waking people up. Awareness, truth, seeing beyond the deception or the lie, speaking the truth. Some of you guys might be writing a book or speaking openly about something here that's very truthful. Okay, so let's pull some of these to close out your reading. What is it that pile number 4 is having to do, or what they will be doing here in regards to this energy shifting? What are they being called to do? What is the advice? What will they be doing? So we see eucalyptus, and it says, reset. Trigger statement, I am sick. I feel it's a sick collective. Okay, the true statement is, I am alive. Wow, beautiful. It is time to embrace a new way of being, one filled with health and freedom to create a new reality. Oh my goodness, new reality for the collective. A new reality here that people can be more fulfilled when they're living from truth, from the heart, rather than from ego. Living the rat race, living in the, I don't know, like living someone else's future. What else here for pile number 4? Lots of blue. Peppermint. Inspire. Look at how many times you guys got inspiration. And then you guys had the, I don't know what it was here that said inspire. You guys had one tarot that said inspire. So inspire here. Trigger statement, I am stuck. That's the 4 pentacle energy and this collective energy that was needing some sort of shift. It says the true statement, I am filled with possibility. Allow yourself to float up above any thoughts or emotions and see what is needed for you to process them and move forward. So she dives into this spiritual realms. She's totally comfortable with all her emotions and connects with this beautiful energy. It feels so liberating. It doesn't feel stuck. It doesn't feel, I don't know, like, you know, when we could get guided by emotions, we could get guided by fears. Filled with possibility. Okay, what else for pile number 4? Roman chamomile. Destiny. Oh my goodness. Trigger statement. I am lost, but the true statement, I do what I love. Yeah. Oh my goodness. There is a path waiting just for you. Open your heart and mind so you can use it on your journey of fulfillment. You guys are really just aligning yourself with a lifestyle that others will just look at you and be like, whoa, like, how did you just make these decisions? There's no fear and like what ifs or like I had to do this or be like that. It's like, I'm just going to align with what I love to do and the universe is going to bless me. Very blessed here with the Empress. What else for pile 4? Jasmine, passion. Trigger statement, I am scared, but the true statement, when I am vulnerable, I am at my strongest. That's what this Page of Cups is, vulnerable, but passion. Reconnect with your feminine energy. Pursue something that ignites your fire. Open the gates and your fortress and explore. I feel that's exactly what you do. Green Mandarin, opportunity. Trigger statement, I doubt it, but the true statement is there is hope. With fresh eyes, see the potential within this situation. So you guys make your dreams a reality, okay? It's living the future you've always wanted to see. I feel there's one more that you've always wanted to experience. It's fulfilling. It's beautiful. It's inspiring others. It's living the best life because it's aligned with your heart. It's not forcing. It doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like a challenge. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel like a lie. It feels like a truth and a fulfillment. Okay? Douglas Fir, resolution, trigger statement. The past haunts me. The true statement, in this moment, I am free. Oh my goodness, I love it. Let yourself be the one to heal the wounds passed down from your ancestors. Exactly what we said. The release and growth begins with you. I'm getting goosebumps. I think ancestors of humankind, not necessarily blood. You guys are waymakers, pioneering, opening. Do what you love. Use your gifts, spiritual understandings, your connection to the divine, being led by this, and being an example to inspire others to break free from the ego, from the rat race, from the illusion, from the identity, from the lie that we're separate or that we're separate from God or that we have to be under a rulership or dictatorship or corporation or something like this. Is like, no, I am free in this moment. I do what I love. Everything is possible from this aspect. I don't believe in the lie of separation. I'm alive, choosing what I choose to do and be. And even though this might feel like a vulnerability, putting myself out there, maybe seeming like I'd be, I don't know, like picked apart, or that my skill or my thing could be looked at as, I don't know, like when we're pioneer something, we could be called crazy, or I don't know, like we're taking this big risk or foolish or whatever. It's like we could be very scared and let it control us. It's like, no, this passion to move with my destiny is calling me. And then it gives other people permission to do the same. Pink pepper. Grace. Trigger statement. What do they have that I don't? But the true statement is we are all special. Allow your inner critic to be silenced as you find the perfection in yourself and those around you. So, collective, I see you see your beauty in the authenticity, and everyone carries their own authentic gift. And it's like I support it, and I allow myself to not stay small and compare myself to the what ifs or other people in that field that could be better, that could do it better. And then I sort of stay here sort of fighting that reality. It's like, no, I trust in my gift to be something that's going to expand. And here's a message that's coming through. When we start something, let's say you start tarot. Okay, and you might, obviously, I mean, I don't know if you follow me, but let's say you follow me and for whatever reason, you're like, whoa, I want to read tarot like that, but my tarot reading is like, I don't know, something else. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's more different meanings, or the way you read it's completely different. And then you only really think, okay, well, this obviously means I have to become like Prairie Vintage in my reading, or like have some sort of skill like that, or do something like this in order for it then to be okay enough for me to read, or for me to then claim that I'm a tarot reader or something like this. It's like, no, because the people drawn to you will need your way of presenting tarot. Will need that at that point in time for them, because not everyone's going to understand the way I'm connecting tarot. That I only open the door to a few collective here that tap into this. Okay, and this goes for everything. It's like art. You might think, whoa, like I compare myself with great artists or musician. And it's like we could really see entry. And it's like, yeah, but everyone is on a different journey. And that's this thing. Oh my gosh, yes, look at this. Everyone is on their own journey. How can you focus more on your own path? And this is the thing, is like, whatever level I'm at, whether I see it as a beginner, whether I see it as less than or not quite there, or whatever this comparison is, that's the lie. It could be like even a, what's it called? What's that word when we have like, we just have the fear of like allowing ourselves to be that amateur, you know? And we think, not for me, like I'm not meant to be at that stage yet, or I still got to figure it out to do it yet, or give permission. It's like, no, you, by being on your journey, you're already giving yourself permission. It doesn't matter how it comes out, even if it looks like it's amateur or like it's whatever, because the people that are being inspired by you and your art, or you and your permission to let it rip wherever you're at, whether you fully understand it. Remember I said that book? Oh my gosh, it's coming through too. I think it was the page of, I don't know, it was one of the pages. He had a book close to him with the feather. And I said, there's still stuff you don't know. The book was closed. I think in the past, we might have held what we don't know, like maybe knowledge or skill or talent with this 8 pentacle. I don't have the skill, or I don't have the talent, or I don't have the ability, or I don't have the thing just yet. And you might be really focused, or have been focused on gaining that skill or that knowledge or that thing to be right. It's like you no longer wait, because we could be waiting forever. And it's like the time is now. The permission that you give yourself to follow what it is that you love to do, that's going to open up the possibilities for all sorts of shifts and changes in your world. And it's really going to have a snowball effect. The people around you, the collective around you, the people that you heal, because I do feel there's a healer energy with you here. And it's going to really be nurturing for the collective around you. And I feel like you're going to speak great truths and shine the light of awareness on great truths. And so it's going to change your world, but it's also going to change others. Okay, so rediscover a lost part of yourself, experience relationship harmony and healing. Beautiful. Pile number 4. This is your reading. I love you so much. Let me know in the comments what you're doing and what it is that your talent is here, or where we can find you. Like if you have a social media page, or if you have a business, or if you're like, I don't know, like this gift or this new idea, or wherever you're at, so that we can join you and see your journey. Okay, beautiful angel. Thank you so much for joining me. Bless you, and I wish you the best of luck on your endeavor. All right, I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye.